Well, he didn't say I was off to one side.
Oh, you're off to one side. Fix that live.
You're like the Borg queen who's putting the tentacles into the machine saying, ah! No, it won't go as planned. But hopefully the live won't self-destruct. Hopefully. Well, because it's our doing.
I have command authorization.
Yes, the code is 00001.
Zero.
Ooh.
Zero.
I mean, is it
5?
Is that any better than being password 00000? You know, is it though? I don't know. Where is it? And Stuart's apologies for Stuart's internet.
Now in case I don't make it back. Damned Q. What's wrong with my internet?
Just apologies for Stuart's internet. It's been a little bit hazy all day. It kind of settles, but if he disappears, do not worry, he'll be back. It's not like a power outage like I had previously. But, you know. Yes, welcome all to the start of another generation. I'm more excited about this 10 than I was about Discovery's 10. To the point I've not even watched this episode of Discovery. I'm Discoveryless. Goodness. That's shocking. And you know,
yeah.
And I'm probably more excited than I was for Prodigy because it was unknown. But I was more excited for Lower Deck Season 2 than this because it earned its stripes, as it were. That's where I am, anyway.
All right, so I read Mark Lawrence's super chat. Ozzy throws in $5. Shuttle bay door is closed at Warp and at Park. Well parked. Hell yeah.
As it should be. It is sad to give them credit for the most simple, basic things, but you know what? You tell them to do a better job, and maybe they'll do it. I mean, listen. I mean, continue listening. Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Christian Montgomery, I watched Picard 4 times. Yeah, I have too. I watched the Discovery episode twice.
Is that enough?
Not bad. It's just more filler.
There's only three. It can't be. There's only 3 left. But Stuart, pimp out your live tonight because you're doing other live tonight.
We're done this one in time. Yeah, tonight at 10 p.m. ish, depending. I was doing a first reaction to the Discovery episode 4, or season 4, episode 11.
Yes.
Called Rosetta. Doing that first reaction tonight. So, guys, please join me if you're able to.
Please do.
Kit 10K is here with $10. Yo, guys, what's up? Good to see you, Kit.
Talking about Picard. I mean, can you not tell? I mean, do you not feel the energy in the air, the ether? You know. Yes. Well, I'll start sharing so everyone will get the audience in so we can start discussing fully. But put likes in the chat right now.
103 of you here, 62 likes.
Don't put likes in the chat.
Like button.
Well, I guess you could put likes in the chat. I flub. But yeah, put the word like in the chat just because you like us. If you like us, put like in the chat. Ha
Like the video and write like in the chat so we all know you're paying attention. Yes, super chats are a great way to get your voice heard, your comment read. If you have anything you want to say or a question you have or a discussion topic you want us to talk about, send us a super chat. We do read them all on the air. We might miss some of those stuff in the regular chat, but we try to pull out good comments from there as well to talk about as also. So if you're not able to super chat, that's fine. If you want to help us on a monthly basis, click that join button. There is a join option down there, which is, like I said, a monthly thing. Happens at the beginning of the month, small amounts. You also get a rank here, and you get to have some cool emojis and stuff you can use during the lives. So consider hitting that join button. We really appreciate all of our members. Another way to do that is heading over to Patreon/Trekyards and helping us there on a monthly basis. Or you can just send us a PayPal if you like as well. PayPal to trekyards@hotmail.com. Just let us know in the regular chat that you've hit that or that you sent that, and we will read your comment or question via
Promise if I jump back on this, you're going to hear me typing. Oh.
email.
There it is.
So yeah, check out the Eagle Moss links, use the discount codes, all that kind of cool stuff, and check out our merchandise at the TeePublic and the Teespring store down there in the description as well. So don't know what's up with my internet. Stuart looks rather positronic right now. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Mucho appreciado. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, says Christopher Peterson. Well, just the first part. Anyway, yeah, so should be a good discussion. Looks like the internet's clearing up a bit here. So the USS Ross is a Galaxy variant. Yes, it is indeed. And USS Sutherland is a Nebula variant. So yes, we got some SEO ships as well in here. So that's awesome.
I'm back.
230 or 130 of you now. Sorry, 130 of you now. So 84
Ooh.
likes. Hit that like button, guys. Let's get to 100. That's the goal right now.
Chris, is there a new South Park? If there's no South Park, I can watch it. Ooh. I'm going to start a poll because I have a controversial poll opinion to put in there before we even get started, or as we get started.
Go right for it, yeah. So yeah, hit that like button, guys, and let's get into this conversation sooner than later. Lots to talk about in this one. So, Steamed Banana, great name for multiple reasons. So many beautiful ships. It's like they listen to the fans. Yes, indeed. You should probably check your replicator too, Steamed Banana, if that's the only name you could come up with.
Okay, read the poll. And guys, so nice to have a button that actually works properly. Like I touch
yes,
it.
he's got a mute button. He got a new Yeti mic. We should. Speaking of, would you guys be interested in us auctioning off his old?
Oh yes.
It still works, 100%. Well, it still works very good. But he used it for 6 years now.
Sorry. Hello. Yes.
Anyway,
Old one and new one. It's exactly the same, but newer. Clearly in pretty good condition still, and all the buttons work, which is lovely. Auction. Yeah. I mean, this has had what? How many thousands of hours?
Trekyards time, and your breath all over it. I'm sure people
How many
would love it.
clones could you make of me with this? And actually,
One is too many.
This is the microphone I took on our Mission America trip. That this Doug Drexler has spoken to this for our interview with him. My John Eves and Rick Sternbach and all the team on that. Martin and Ramey, Sean Turanjo. So this went around. It's quite heavy, so the fact I took it was a bit of a thing. But yeah, this was did a lot. Thank you, microphone, for your service. You are now retired.
So anyway, the poll results.
Yes.
76 votes already, which is amazing.
What was the question?
Should this have been the start of season 1 of Picard? Yeah, it should have been season 1. No, season 1 is needed for season 2. Both are good. Yeah, good choices there.
Thank you. I had to put both for Donnie.
Yeah, in my opinion.
So Stu, what do you think of Star Trek Picard season 2 episode 1? Or really season 1 episode 1? For real.
Well, it's season 2 episode 1. It's
yeah,
definitely not really season 1. But anyway, should have been season 1 is my thought, and I really liked it. Lots of Star Trek goodness. Felt like a continuation of TNG. This is the Picard we wanted and expected, and we're looking forward to going into Picard in season 1, and we didn't get it. So now we have it, and thank goodness for that. Canon ships, canon fleets, even some STO ships pulled in for good measure. New uniforms, new bridge. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff here. Looking forward to seeing more of it. Hopefully it's not too much time in the past in 2024, because who cares? We're in 2022 now, and it's pretty shit. I want to kind of move on and watch the future. That's what Star Trek's about. So anyway, that's where we're at, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So boom, that's my thoughts in a nutshell. How about you, Commander?
Yeah, it's good. It's nice. It's
good. It's good.
It is. It's a good episode of Star Trek. It's a. What's amazing is that it starts off as it means to continue. We all thought the start of season 1 Picard was good with Data and Data flashbacks, and then he goes from happy Picard to sad Picard as then his unhappiness for the next 10 episodes comes across. This episode starts with phenomenal action beat, great. It sets up going to get Starfleet, boom, and then positive music, beautiful shot of Earth. He's having a good day. He's okay with his life. Some weird romance stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. But it starts on a positive, friendly note that feels like Picard. He's living it. It tells exactly. Oh no, we're doing this again. We're putting that record back to the start and re-rolling it. It's got a good pace. It's got much better use of characters that instantly are more enjoyable to watch in their rebooted state, because it is very much a reboot of season 1. Ship design, very good. The CGI is more in line. It's less Discovery. It's the same companies doing it, but they obviously were told to make it look less Discovery-like and less Picard-like. It looks slightly more familiar. Still more flashy, like less beautiful than old Trek, but more but closer, you know, more acceptably close. But the ships were fantastic. Picard himself was just that was the balance of he's old man and mostly old character, still coming to fore, and you can see multiple points where he's just in it again. And even Seven of Nine, who was an absolute, you know, betrayal of her Voyager arc, she felt more like Seven in terms of I could see a Seven being like that with more human, you know, not being as casual with Picard. But everyone felt on the right level, and as someone points out, I think in your pre-show thing, you know, Raffi never called him JL. Cut that right out. The appropriate level of respect, still intimacy and friendship, but you don't need the JL stuff. It was unnecessary and it was a bad call. So everything got blended and repiped into a new cake, and the cake was much prettier and more cohesive. And I mean, it's fair to say the internet has been abuzz with this. And imagine if I wasn't to watch this until UK Today. You know, talk about internet just destroying this for spoilers, which is funny because when Discovery came out, no one was talking about it. There weren't news articles, there weren't press. You know, either this episode or even the start of the season, it was like, okay. But Picard, like, there were big articles, there were big things, lots of the, you know, Facebook people are commenting. It's such an alive topic that I know it's obviously this different show, we're waiting for it longer, but just the difference in vibe is astounding. And you can imagine, you'd like to think that the people behind the scenes are saying, oh yeah, people liked it, did they? Maybe we should do this again. And not... So they like Prodigy, they love Prodigy, they love Lower Decks, they love Picard, they didn't like Discovery. Or Discovery. Maybe we should, you know what I mean? It's they must be taking note at some point that, you know, making Star Trek gets them kudos, making not Star Trek doesn't give them kudos. So, yeah, that's good. What do you guys think?
Kit 10K throws in $10 and says, out of the ships that were shown with the Stargazer in the picture, do you guys have a particular favorite ship? I'm undecided myself.
Well, we'll need to see them more than that many pixels. I think the Gagarin is great. It grew on me instantly as soon as I saw it as well. But I think Stuart's is Excelsior wants me to see some sort of clear any view.
I'm not a huge Excelsior fan, as you guys know. I've learned to appreciate it over the last few years a lot more. And just seeing that one, zooming in on it and seeing like the different shape nacelles was really cool. So looking forward to seeing more of that. But honestly, the Ross class and the...
there's the Miranda or the Reliant class. There's the Gagarin, the Ross, and the... I can't remember
the Sutherland. The Ross and the Sutherland both are going to standouts for me. Those are nice designs. So
well, it's wonderful when they're just they look like what they should look like, and Star Trek on top of that. Like, that's a phenomenal. It's a Miranda. It's a Nebula, but not.
Yeah.
So like Excelsior is Excelsior clearly, but not.
And it's not the Albina class from Lower Decks, guys.
That's our gut. I mean, they might. I mean, heavily different if it is, but it's unlikely. Very unlikely.
Yeah. Kit 10
would have been cool if it was.
Yeah. Casual Trekker, $5. Could the Borg be from the Road Not Taken universe? The whole Legion we saw in the subtitles. Yeah. Every time the Borg spoke in the subtitles, it said Legion. So just a legion of people, but.
Well, I think it's fair to say that this episode is about misdirection. You know, it shows you a lot, it tells you a lot, and yet what do we know at the end of it? That maybe some Borg, maybe through time, have maybe come through to maybe have peace, or maybe kill us all.
Well, it didn't seem like they wanted to kill us. I mean, just the way they were speaking, the things that they did.
But that's what I mean.
Taking over the ships, kind of, and the whole I require power first was...
But that's what I mean. The end result is death and mayhem, but it's wonderfully ambiguous. I mean, it could not have been a Borg queen. It could not have been a Borg. It could have been, you know, it could have been pretending to be a Borg. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, it could have been an ex-Borg, like on Chakotay's planet where he met the lady. It's such a... it's such a vibrant start to a story. It does kind of rely on the payoff being great. And of course, it's a temporal anomaly. Or at least, probably, it's a tachyon anomaly. Again, super unknown. But it'd be sad if it was, mega future Borg, because they should be able to get through, it's wonderfully interesting. And we'll see how it push forward. Dear me. So I asked the question. I've already got 150 votes roundabout. I said, should this have been the first season of Picard? And 79% say yes, 12% say no, 8% say both. So a resounding success. And we would agree. And I'm going to put another poll up. Once this internet comes back.
Yes. 208 people here, 107 likes, guys. Hit that like button. This new goal is 150. I think we can easily hit that. We can easily hit 200 at this point. So if you haven't hit like yet, please hit that like button. While he's doing that no poll, I'll get a super chat or two. Eric Martin, $5.
Thank you.
I didn't notice the disco shuttle, but the way he treated
Laris.
Bothered me. But I think they were making a point about Picard's personality. They were, absolutely, yeah. It's kind of like one of the crutches that this episode and this season are going to, kind of hobble along on.
And also I want to bring up one thing that was brought up both by you and by several others about Rios straight away, I remember it. Some people said it's absurd that he would have a cigar on the bridge. And someone commented that to Doug Drexler, who was involved in season 2 and 3. And he said, watch again, he never lights it.
Yeah, he plays with the lighter, and it looks like he lights it at one point, but yeah.
So it's just a tick he has to feel comfortable. He's just and you're not, it's like if Cisco was, he'd be allowed to throw his baseball in the air while at work. So he's now actually lights it. So there you go.
Yeah.
He's not that unprofessional. He just, less, and that's okay.
I think it's unprofessional at all.
I just less professional than the most professional is all I mean. Like on a scale of professional, less professional. Slightly less, but expect nothing less of Mount Rios. That's okay.
Yeah. Eric Martin, another $5, so thank you so much. I hope Strange New World starts this strong. Maybe we are finally turning a corner with the franchise. That's the dream. It takes teamwork to make the dream work, and we're all on Team Trek. So, yes, listen to everybody and do what, feels right.
And Picard was the weakest link. So Prodigy and Lower Decks...
Goodbye.
Hey, you got the reference! Hey, good job.
Oh, yeah. You are the weakest thing. Goodbye.
I thought it was just an English show.
No.
Oh, nice.
No.
But yeah, so... Yeah. So yeah, Picard was the low-hanging fruit that just disappointed everybody, at least in our eyes, with who analyse it, etc. So if this is raised above, now Discovery's the only one that's lower in the bar, and obviously this season's been okay. Maybe season 5 will be much better, but if now 3 out of 4... just have Stranger Worlds be good, which is still a big if there. But it's good because that's, they're allowed to make the mistakes, and the key is get a new showrunner, get a new production designer, get new writers. Excellent.
And Trek fans, hire Trek fans that are working on your ships and your scripts.
Yeah.
Anyway, IMEC throws in $5.
Thank you.
So it's a Stargazer saucer of a similar size to the Galaxy saucer. Seems close to that nebula. Size of a galaxy, probably not. You can kind of scale it a bit by the shuttle bay when you see the shuttle go in. I think it's very similar in size, at least to the Sovereign class saucer, because it's even kind of the same shape, and so yeah.
I mean, this is a very specific sort of shot. Do not take this as accurate, because the Lesser Arena is not that big.
Yeah.
I mean, vaguely big, but that's not actually.
It's where they're staggered. They're staggered at different distances.
It's perspective. So. Don't. I mean, it's definitely much less long than a Sovereign. I think it's quite a lot smaller as well. We'll see, but it's actually quite small considering.
Tim McCaffrey, new member,
Boom.
joined the channel at the Rank of Commander. So welcome aboard, Commander. Those channel memberships are a big deal, so if you want to click that join button,
they're a huge deal.
See what the options are, we'd appreciate that.
Huge deal.
Furious Fallen's member for 23 months of the Rank of Captain, so thank you, sir.
Mr. Support, thank you.
This is the first real live action Trek episode of the new Trek. You guys see the Luna class in the fleet.
3,
yes, it is.
I think.
Yeah, a few of them, yeah. We have 233 people watching, which is fantastic. Make sure you're all subscribed. Make sure you click the notification bell icon and hit like.
Yes.
We have 127 likes. The goal is 150 right now, so hit it.
But also super chats, put your thoughts in, because if we can get 15 fives, guess those numbers, it does make a big difference, because we do rely on this channel to pay rent and live, etc. So if you want to see these reviews, just getting us to our minimum is amazing. So put in some fives, let us know what you think. Thank you so much in advance.
And Kit 10K throws in $10.
Like Kit 10K.
To miss a chunk of this chat because I've got to pick up my car from the mechanic.
I mean, leave it for a bit. Oh.
All right, good luck, Kit. Oh, they probably close soon.
Okay, fine.
So good luck, Kit.
Hurry back.
We'll wait for you. Oh, I got fuzzy there. We'll just sit here and wait for you, Kit. It's okay. I got other stuff to do anyway. So
I'll go back to editing the other. Because, guys, we've got lots of content coming out of this episode, as you can imagine. Ship reviews, bridge reviews. Stuart, what do you think of scene 1? I'm going to throw you in the deep end.
I'm busy. What?
No, I can't wait. What do you think of
scene 1?
The trailer scene that we all saw?
Which we all saw. Yeah, I mean, it was great. It started out with a real kick, some action. We got to see some corridors, some uniforms, some phasers. There's a lot to take in here. And wow, what a real way to start off a show. The one thing that bothered me about it, honestly, is the fact that Admiral Picard had the authority to just self-destruct the ship without any secondary confirmation from anybody. It's not his ship. I mean, the whole time he was on the bridge, I'm thinking, think of the TNG episodes where they're doing a mission and there's an admiral on board, and the admiral is having to address somebody, and everybody on the bridge crew and all the viewers, because they know the bridge crew people are kind of like, I don't know about this guy being in charge. So the fact that Picard had the ability to just self-destruct the ship without Rios's confirmation or anything was a little disconcerting, but besides that, it was a fantastic opening scene. Lots of action, and lots of great stuff to look at. So, yeah.
I mean, I actually have no problem with that, just because they have done. It started with 2 codes, but ended up being 1 code in TNG, so that is a precedent for the 1 code.
Well, no, because Captain Picard wanted to self-destruct the ship like twice, and Riker had to agree. He also had to agree to shut it off.
No, I know that, but that was early TNG.
Absolutely, without a doubt, definitely wanted to do that at one point, when a simple yes would have sufficed.
Yeah, I'm just saying in Voyager, like in later shows, you just need 1. That ended up being a thing. It's like originally it had to be in the engineering room with 2 codes at the same time. Then it became 1. And I'm fine with any admiral having power over the captain, because if the captain gets injured, it's just a high-ranking officer. I think sad, but fine. It was apt. I mean, the thing is, he was reinstated as a full Starfleet officer at that point. It wouldn't have made sense if he was
I was handing the badge back. Yeah,
which is why it didn't make sense in the trailer, because it's like he's a guy, but he's a full out, like, so now his rank gives him those abilities again. Although his code should be more cool. But yeah.
Yes, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
IMEC throws in $10. I liked it, but can we please, pretty please, for the love of all Trek, have phaser beams again? I got no real issue with it's different settings. I would like to see some phaser beams. It would be cool if a few of them are doing that. But I have no problem with multiple settings on those things.
But that's the point. They haven't got them. They've just got Pew.
It doesn't seem to.
That's
hold the trigger down. Maybe they're just making sure they hit the target. That's the new training.
Oddly,
oh shit! Half the bridge is gone.
Oddly, it feels less exciting to me to have Pews, because then you miss and it lack attention. I don't know. I miss phases. It would have been nice to have both, but I'm sure, it's like I miss the normal hand phases, the remote control style, having just guns. I mean, I don't think you can convince the production to go away from pews, because people know guns equals bullets equals bang. Whereas if you had normal phases, it'd be their phasers. So, I will be addressing this in all my fan films, though, what those guns are. As a little side note. But I did like this scene. The fact that we saw a Vulcan was cool, because it gives instant flashbacks to Spock a little bit, grounds us in instant Trek. Small note, but it was a good way of humanizing the scene by not having a human, and it blows the proverbial showing a lot of the stuff early on. If we hadn't seen this in the trailer, we'd be like, oh my god, mind blown. Corridors and bridges and Picard's there, and Yeah, it's definitely a very good idea for an opening, especially as the vibe goes all the way back down to like a 2. But it works so well, you know? Yeah.
Darth Duck puts in €5.
Awesome
name.
Thank you.
I like the new bridge. A bit dark, but why do they have to use this Kirk-era sound bites like the Red Alert and others? And why the old Red Alert sign?
Yeah. At least they had lots of other familiar bleeps and bloops and red alert sounds apart from that. Which, because I'm doing sound design for a fan film, so I recognise that. So I'm okay with that, and I loved hearing the Star Trek 5 red alert, I was like, yeah, that's good. It was nice. It's a distinct effect, you know. I was okay with it.
I think each captain should be able to select the Red Alert sound option. It's like picking a text message sound for your phone. The one other thing that bothered me is nobody listened to orders. Captain Rios said multiple times, stop firing. This is like a diplomatic situation. Everybody's running onto the bridge and like, for the love of Christ, stop firing. Listen to your captain. You wouldn't see that fly on the Enterprise back in TNG, I don't think.
Because Worf would punch him. Okay, I know what you mean, but if these guys are actually in the know, Borg Queen, first time I've seen the Borg in 2 decades, biggest threat ever. Are you really gonna have trigger discipline when they're taking over the ship? No, I think and it's also a new crew, new ship, so they could be younger people. I think of all the baddies, you don't let.
Well, they all did look young, yeah.
Of all the races, you don't give a second chance to. It's the Borg, as in this context.
Your captain's given an order, like.
And I mean, he probably, but I mean, the chief tactical's firing, you know. And he's also a new captain. They've only known him for what, you know. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But then we flash back.
The harvesting of grapes with 48 hours earlier, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harvesting of grapes with transporters was cool, I gotta say.
It made, again, season 1's vineyard look like shit. It's like that. If this was season 1, we'd be like, oh, that's so cool. This is how whining looks like. Yeah. It's just such a lovely set of scenes. I like his costume, I like his vibe, I like all of it. It's all lovely. It's exactly how it should have been in season 1. And I thought, yeah, the beaming was great. Although, is Laris designing the labels after they've already been printed, or is she designing a second batch, or what's she doing here? Because the editing's going to be a bit odd.
She's probably just tweaking some of the newer bottle labels, probably.
So she gets to pick up Picard then.
Picard picks one up and it like beams onto the bottle.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is that? That's cool.
I love the little colour. It looks like, someone did make a joke, it's like future Photoshop with a colour wheel.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, is fun. And it's 2401 as well. We're now 1 year in the future, so we skipped the century crossover date.
A year and a half.
Yeah. So we did not get 2400. We skipped that big milestone of Happy New Year! Skipping it.
George Mangrum, $5. Do we think that Agnes killed Zhaban?
I didn't until you said that. George, why do you think that?
Who is Zhaban?
Oh, that's so harsh. It's Laris's husband, who she sort of loved, who they retconned that she sort of loved but didn't really love. So they could kill him, so they could flirt with Picard. Let's murder the husband! That's I don't even know his name. He's a northerner. That's really funny.
Eric Martin, $5. Love the title of the Spock book. Was that a Bajoran tablet on Picard's home desk and didn't even get talked about? Yeah, it was in one of the very early teasers. And yes,
First one,
it's a Bajoran tablet. And yeah, he's an archaeologist. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't need to be talked about necessarily.
What's going on here?
The way they highlighted it in the teaser thing, it felt very much like it was going to be like a plot point kind of thing, but not so much. Not so much. That's fine.
Although maybe it'll be a hint to mirror him. I'll call him mirror him for now. Maybe he's also looking at it and be like, ha, I love the Par Wraiths. And it's like, oh, God. Because what a thing to say, you know. Loving those Par Wraiths.
But nice little scene, too, of them toasting the end of the season. And Cheers, Big Ears was hilariously good, gotta say.
Shows how much closer they got to have that sort of thing. Because, you know, Spock's, you know, knows what his own is, etc. And it was happy Picard. He's like, yes, it's nice. It's friendly.
Yes.
It's open. It feels like him, give or take. It was nice.
And the whole hints at a relationship, and the whole give the backstory of the husband dying a year and a half earlier.
Well,
And
we don't know how, why, or when. Just he did die.
Said a year and a half.
Well, I mean specifically when.
But yeah, so that was nice, and the whole learning about the Romulans, how they love deeply, and then when they lose, they love deeply again, and more deeply. It's just their tradition. So best to kill off your first spouse, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know that you got a real name for you and your family. So do you have a second name for your real second love? You change names every time?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of the
A nice little scene. I thought it was nice.
Because it was very early on. This is like the real first meaty scene, and it's like instantly into love story? Question mark? Did it not feel a bit random for you?
No, not at all. It's actually kind of perfect, actually.
Oh, right.
And yes, it's definitely setting up the problems Picard's dealing with, not being able to explore his own emotions and feelings, and being afraid to let somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
Which is addressed here. She asks why you choose to be alone, and I think it was very well done, and I have no problem with it. But the fact that he kind of screwed it up at the end there, I'm like, dude, she's hot. Just go with it. And everybody's like, well, she's so much younger than him. She's a Romulan. She's probably 140. Yeah. He's like pushing 100, so they're fine. They're actually matched out pretty good.
I would think she'd be slightly older, yeah. She certainly isn't younger than Picard. I mean, she was in Tao Xia. She was a high-ranking Tao Xia. You don't think you can get Tao Xia at like 30, etc. So I'm just dealing with Premiere just being a bit of a bleep word, so...
Yeah, well, I'll just wait then. No, there's a lot of pictures, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was fixed and it died again. But yeah, Picard has a good vibe in this. Like I say, for my interpretation, both times watching it, it does feel a bit out of the blue. I mean, you can't say this was set up in season 1 because she was married. And there was zero, like, it was more like, that fun friend that you have. So I felt like a bit of a stretch retcon. And obviously, for those who like the characters, like, and we're just going to kill the husband. So, a bit insensitive. At least they very much explain in dialogue and, how this can happen. So I get that. They thought it through. It's just like, we're going to force right turn. It's like if in episode 1 they said, oh, and Picard, we found your new real body. So no, you're no longer android. Oh, nice. Just going to harsh right out of that. But I'm kind of glad I didn't kiss her, because A, it would have been like, oh, are we watching the love story season? Not sure I'm interested in that. But if she's a symbol if she's a catalyst for how he feels, that's great. Moving into seeing Beverly again, or someone else from his past, etc., who has actual years of connection with him. Beverly, it's like 20 years plus of, connection. But I hope they don't get together, because she doesn't feel like a good match for him. Personally, I don't see, beyond the, you were there to comfort me after my husband died, and we're both old, and we both live in the same house, let's get together. That's all it kind of felt to me, and obviously, intellectually, but hopefully it's just you catalysted my progression as a character.
Yeah. Router215 throws in €5.
Thank you.
Much. I'd imagine Picard wine would taste better than replicated wine. Well,
yeah.
I think so.
Very good.
Christian Montgomery throws in $2. I assume Picard is fully functional. We hope so.
Well, better than before, because no longer,
programmed in multiple techniques as well.
Downloaded special Romulan techniques, yeah.
Good Tea, Nice House throws in $10. Well done, Star Trek Picard. They listened to the fans. I saw uniforms, I saw ships, I saw Starfleet pips. That rhymes. There was bridge talk and corridor walk with techno babble on their lips. That's a great rhyme. I like that. It's really good. Good job. You get bonus points. KP Music throws in $5 and says, love the episode, but was a bit worried they went all in for it just to potentially toss in 2024 time travel story. Hope for more of this stuff. Yeah, that's kind of our thought too. It's like one of those trailers that all the good stuff's in the trailer, is all the good stuff in the first episode? I certainly hope not. But
Yeah.
they've kind of brought back a lot of people that were a little bit burned by season 1, so best not to screw that up right away.
No, 100%. But I think given how little diversity in the trailer content there is, and you always say it's probably the first 3 episodes, so I think it'll be the first half of season 1, and then we'll go past it. I don't... Seeing how good this was in the present, I'm not interested in seeing more than 2 in the past, honestly. Unless it's really freaking good, I do not think it'll be really freaking good. Not in a bad way, just compared to this. This was really freaking good. And some non-super chat comments. Rise asks, are you going to specifically do an episode on the Cannon fleet? I'm curious on the Andromeda class starship. Looks like Andromeda from the front. It's not Andromeda, but close. And yes, we are. We do a variety of episodes on the different ships that cover different styles of topic. And I'll probably do some lives next week about that stuff because it's very Trekyards themed, which is phenomenal. And Bill says it's a Venom Ball Queen. Yup.
Felt more like when I saw it and I knew it was the Borg, I thought, did they assimilate Armus?
Armus and Doc Ock from Spider-Man, yeah. And Django says replicated wine is crap. Literally.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Richard Kennedy throws out £10.
£10,
So
amazing, thank you.
Once Picard is finished, I'd be keen to see a continuation of Rios on the Stargazer. I love him as a captain.
That's interesting.
And I love the ship. Feel it would be a genuine continuation of the Prime Universe. Yeah. Rios has quickly become one of my favorite captains, right up there with Lorca and Cisco and Kirk. Lorca's a good captain. He was just like an old school style, much like the Kirk and the old days.
He was like Jellicoe, but with more murder.
Well, before we knew he was from the Mirror Universe, he was a good captain. He was a hard-ass military captain, and I thought that was great. So I like Lorca, despite the fact that you keep shooting me down about that. Other people feel the same.
I know, but it's fun. Yeah. I like we have an opposite on one. We don't have that many opposites, which is fun. No, actually, I'd be interested in that. I mean, the sets are certainly growing on people. The extra is great. You could easily have a Picard cameo. You could easily have all the main Picard cast cameoing. That's an interesting idea. No, maybe. Call it Star Trek Stargazer. Yeah. But I'll finish the poll now. I asked, did you enjoy Discovery or Picard more this week? 236 views. 96% said Picard. So they enjoyed Picard more this week.
Surprising. KP Music, $5. Would be great to see Rios Stargazer Classic Trek show, or even bring back Riker and Jack Quaid's Lower Decks character back to a Sirius Titan show. There you go. 297 people here, though. Awesome. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're notified and all that jazz.
So much
hit like. We have 173 likes. I want to get to 200 now, which is super easy. Barely an inconvenience. We have 300 people now, which is awesome. So hit that like button if you haven't. Even if you're just here for a second, just hit that like button. We appreciate it. Taylor T throws in $20. Amazing super chat. Thank you. Amazing episode. I love the callback to the end of the first episode of TNG when Picard quotes his mother and says, "Let's see what's out there." I hope we get to hear Rios do multiple accents again. Thanks for the stream.
Did he quote his mum in All Good Things?
No idea.
Don't remember that specifically. But I put another poll up, Stuart, if you want to read that. It's fun to hear what you guys think.
Did you think Picard's Laris scene was a bit forced, pretty natural, good, didn't like it?
Interesting what you guys think. But Picard doesn't go to bed. He said has flashes of memories. Seeing his old self, which I'm so glad I was right. That is young French Picard going to his recently moved into chateau. Which I think was the context. They've just moved in from Paris, and he laments to his mum, saying, "But I've just moved away from all of my friends." And she's like, "Dude, it's a transporter away. You're not actually moved out anywhere. You just go. It's fine." And the dad is doing the planting of the grapes, and your brother is in the school, and you little don't know what you do. It wasn't in the dialogue. And you introduce the mother, young mother. We saw her in TNG, but here she is all young. And what accent was she meant to have? It wasn't French. I think it was English, but it was a weird English. I shouldn't say that much, but I was confused by her accent.
I don't know. I can't stand her. I can't stand the actress. I don't even know what else she's been in. I just can't stand the way she talks, the way she looks. She just bothers me.
She had a weird vibe, for sure.
I tuned out. So, but there's a lot of flashbacks to her being abused by Picard's dad, by the looks of it, which is interesting because Patrick Stewart's actual mother suffered domestic violence. So I think that was worked in. A little bit disconcerting, but hey, it is what it is.
I mean, Patrick did like to include real life things into Picard. This is one of those things where adding that sort of thing will literally fundamentally change the character forever. They could easily mess it up, because I don't know if I like the idea that because his mum was abused, he went to space. And it's like, well, that means he's been running for his entire life, rather than just wanting to explore for genuine reasons.
Like it, yeah.
So I'm hoping this is a twist. I will say that I can't remember who it was. Someone on the production team did say explicitly. Oh no, it was Patrick on the Ready Room. He did say, "This is not necessarily what you think it is, because he is remembering things from a child's perspective, which have been changed over like 180 years of life. So take this as as something for right now. There'll be more to this later. It's not what we think it is necessarily." Which makes sense. If you think about how you remember stuff at 5, the content's going to be different to how it actually was. And it was certainly edited in a way that wasn't, like, it looked as if Dad stabbed the mum at some point, which I don't buy for a second. So certainly, I mean, it could be a message from an alien going to his brain. It could be so many things. I like the confusion. But it's right in there. You know, we're right in that for the episode.
Taylor T says Picard or his brother did talk about his parents arguing about technology being brought into the house.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah, so it's good. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure it'll play a big part later. And actually, interestingly enough, the first time the ship exploded, the Borg Queen didn't say "look up," and that's the whole point of this. Even his speech, we get to in a minute.
Yes,
his mother's thing, like "look up."
In second viewing, it's a bit blatant. Like, yes, this is important. We're gonna do it 3 times this episode. Yes.
The Doctor throws in $10. Great opening. The new uniforms rock. Cheers, big ears. Poor Laris. Love the new Stargazer. Some cringy Girardi explaining her murder acquittal. Picard's auto-destruct order. Overall, a B+. Actually, the Girardi stuff was good for me. I went into this not liking the character. Came out of it thinking, all right, cool. Like how it's addressed, how she talked about it. You know, I'm not good girlfriend material. I just murdered my ex-boyfriend.
We made brownies, remember?
Alien temporary insanity.
And we will get there, of course. But I like this. It's very... See, I think they also listened to Season 1, if you recall. It took 3 episodes to get off Earth. Episode 4 was a letdown as well. This episode, it is exactly paced right. They throw all this stuff at us very early on. It's a lot of exposition. But it's right there getting on with the story, you know? Like, it's all crammed, but we know it, we're moving on, great.
Eric Martin throws in $5.
Thank you, Eric. I agree that Rios giving orders, he said back.
Didn't notice that.
I agree that Rios giving orders, he said back. I didn't notice that either, yeah. Weird. You guys, vote in the poll. Love to get 180 votes. 300 people though, guys. Click like. Love to see you all here. And we hope you'll join us every week for our detailed reviews, because we put a lot of thought into these. A lot of breakdown stuff. And of course our small videos as well. Lovely to see you guys jumping in, etc. So then we get this great pan out. Earth looking nice once again. Through the galaxy. To our old friend, the Akira class, who the CGI artist forgot to put the facades on.
Yeah.
They forgot to turn on that layer.
I didn't notice that first time, but every time I watched it since when you mentioned it, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And same in the last
USS
battle.
Avalon.
No facades anywhere.
Yeah, USS Avalon reports a spatial anomaly. So.
And I really like.
And as soon as I saw it, because we already saw the opening title sequence, which I watched this time, which I will never watch again. You saw the Borg ship and the shape, and I'm like, oh Jesus, this is just the Borg.
Oh.
So it was kind of. I wish I didn't watch the opening sequence, but hey.
I was trying to ignore it, so I didn't. I got the reveal. Sorry, Stuart. But this was great. I mean, what a ship. Almost a throwaway ship. Great. Avalon, great name. And my friends, the Avalon universe, will be happy about that. And maybe I'll have to include the USS Avalon now in the future. Although, what are the chances it's right next to the anomaly, like 2 meters away? What are the chances? But that's fine. And 7's right there. What are the chances? Doesn't really matter. It's all good. What a great tear as well. I mean, very organic, very I mean, very. It's good.
Yes, sir. Then we get the morning of the speech. I love this. I've been looking for you for a while. This tea is definitely Earl Grey cold. And she's in a very bad mood this morning. So.
Yeah, actually, in second viewing, I thought the first time he was like so nervous about her that he made up the thing about the book, but he actually was looking for the book called Morning. Like, it's that important to him. I like that. Yeah, it plays differently. He's like, I've kind of moved on from that. The book was really important, but also you. Hello. Yes. I really like his new study. I thought it looked a lot nicer, a lot more homely, lived in, more personality.
Feels really nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels warm and inviting for sure.
And I just adore the fact they just walk past the Par thing as if it's nothing. I love that. It's such an important piece of memorabilia. So, it's fine. I just like that. It's a nice red herring, at least for now.
Yeah. He's like, nothing has to change. He's like, well, everything will just be awkward. And you know what, too? So, is she going to leave his service? Because everything would be awkward, apparently, at this point.
I feel like that was the context, yeah?
Mm.
I mean,
and I love her last parting shot. In Age of Transporters, how can somebody be late? And yet somehow you manage.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny, except these people have never lived without transporters in their lives. They have zero concept of a pre-transporter world. So it's a bit of a modern day...
He doesn't. In her life, he lived a whole life without a transporter. Which Inner Light should be brought up later, too, when he talks to Guinan about how he's never taken a risk or ever loved anybody.
I might have been delusional, but I still loved them. I had kids, everything. John Luke doesn't count. Yes, it does. I was old. John Luke. It took place over 14 seconds. Shut up, Guinan. Your hats suck.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Be fair.
I just find it funny, like, they've always lived with transporters. There's literally never been a time in their lives without transporters. Even in France, like, they can, whatever. Even in France. Even in the chateau.
Tangerine Star 26, member for 19 months at the rank of Commander.
Amazing.
Thank you so much for being a member. Borg Q spoke with Picard's mother. His voice, memory equals message.
Was it her voice?
Yeah,
or was it just a female voice? I really couldn't tell. I'll be honest.
I didn't differentiate it, but a few people have said that it was her voice, so I'll buy it. I'll believe it. But the fact that he was assimilated, they have his memories. It's hard to say what's going on with that. Right now, so
Yeah.
Then we get a beautiful shot of San Francisco Starfleet Command. That's very good.
And it is the same scene file as in Discovery, but they've done a new style, they've done a new look. It looks more digital, but the buildings look more how I'd associate. The small subtle changes I thought was a really nice. And this is a hard shot to do, but yeah, I thought it was really nice. And it just love it to see. And the no Discovery shuttles flying around. It's the same Argo variant shuttles we saw in season 1, which are acceptable, even if they might be transports, whatever. That's as long as it's not an old shuttle of that ilk, perfectly acceptable. Just future ships, fly them, it's all good.
300 people here, 209 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get up to at least 250. That is the new
Yes,
goal.
fantastic.
250 likes. Hit that like button, please.
Yeah. And I'll end the poll now, because these are good small polls. So I asked a question. Did you think the Picard-Laris romance scene was bit forced, pretty natural, good, didn't like it? The winner is bit forced, 39%. Pretty natural, 31%. Good, 22%. Didn't like it, 7%. So pretty broad spectrum there. Just wanted to ask what you guys thought.
Indeed. Yeah, let me get his nice speech to the graduating class. And or not well, I guess it is graduating class. Talking about second chances and steps going forward, and meet your new fully Romulan cadet, Starfleet Academy cadet Elnor. It was a nice speech, I gotta say. And then even though his He goes through some of his ancestors that helps with the solar system, and we're following Magellan around. Um, or no, Cartier, sorry, Jeff Cartier. He actually says, "I'm going to close this out by saying a thing for my mother," um, which was a nice touch because he's like she was no explorer at all, but she would point at the night sky and say, "Look up, Jean-Luc, and let's see what's out there." So
wasn't this just prime?
It was good. It was a good.
It was just Picard being Picard.
Yeah, exactly. This is what season 1 was missing.
Like this could have been Nemesis.
Picard speeches.
Like this could have been Nemesis Picard if they de-aged him. Like I would have accepted, and obviously the voice be a bit younger. This was like exactly the sort of thing he'd say. Because he was impassioned and didn't have to be in uniform as well, but he was. And considering Patrick doesn't want to be in uniform, it's like good, excellent ceremonial uniform, good stuff. Although this is never a uniform he wore when he was an admiral in Starfleet. This is the new version, so they put him in a brand new uniform. And sorry about Stuart's internet, guys. I'm not sure why it's messing up a little bit. Oh, Area 51, no. Oh, Stuart. Well, I'm going to read. So Eric said, "Okay, I don't know if it was just dumb. I thought he missed it, but when the song started playing before it was struck, didn't I hear it, or just Picard?" Yeah, I feel like it was on the loudspeakers, but I really don't know. I think it was so close to boom they couldn't quite know.
I think it was on the loudspeakers, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
Area 51 throws in $5. Well, watch later. Gotta go. Yes, thank you, Area 51. Please. Hello, Area 51. You watch this later. We're trying to figure out the internet situation. Do we want to move on to the next scene? Let's talk about that.
Well, I also want to mention a couple of things in this scene. I don't know if you caught this, but in the long shot, this is the same stadium that they do the Queen Mirror Universe torture scene, whatever. That big wide shot. So this is the same building that they come out of later with Picard's robot. So I like that. Obviously, this is CGI set extension, I'd assume. I mean, I'm pretty sure it must be. Too many extras. So I love the fact that if that's all the Starfleet Academy, there'll be evil Starfleet Academy, and then you'll get a sense of the two units. Very, very quick shot here, but I thought it was really cool to be able to see. You'll see the direct, totalitarian, evil Starfleet versus this being all positive and lovely. And it might even get some reference to, we hate Romulans in that scene to kind of counteract with this one. So I thought it was very clever. And in terms of Elnor, he looked great, had a great vibe, very smart, very professional, good vibe, great uniform. Bit of favoritism, but I like it. And yes, Klingon flag. What does that tell you about the scene? I don't know, but I'm excited to maybe see some Klingons at some point. It would be lovely. Yes, and then we get
reboot the router and
yes, the mum comment was nice as well. Yes, the mum comment was nice as well. Got to record my the last Picard, that was sad. Although it might be symbolic to maybe in the other version of the universe, maybe he has multiple kids, which would be quite a good payoff actually. We will see. Stuart will join us back in a minute. His internet is just having a slight hiccup. So I'm sure he'll be back in a moment. So I asked the poll as well, guys, how happy are you to see Picard in uniform in the Academy? Yes, very happy. Feels like home. Was okay. Didn't like it. Yes. Yes, Bill, they did. But I ignore that. I move forward. Mr. Robbie, why did the Admiral give Picard a new comm badge? In the speech scene, he already had a new badge. Because that was just the one he wore for that occasion, but it wasn't his uniform, that was a rental. That was a rental. Since he never had that uniform, so, fresh uniform, fresh comm badge. Plus, it might be a situation whereby, he, the official badge versus the guest badge sort of vibe. Hello, temporary webcam Sam. But seriously, what a great speech, and vibe-wise, it's so few minutes in of the episode, and you just feel Picard come to life. I really hope Patrick enjoyed this stuff compared to a lot more of the dour stuff. I don't know. You'd like to think. But the next scene is the lesser arena, and a very close up as well. Going dark. I don't know the context of this scene because it's flowing solo, and I guess some raiders beamed on at some point. But it's a very simple, action scene for action scene's sake, really, where Seven bashes some raiders who just keep shooting holographic. I don't know what his name was. So that can come in. Dub, dub, dub. Ba 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 ba. Yes, Darth Maul, they do have the deltas in the pattern again. Oh dear. And yes, it would have been nice to make it 10 years ago. Would have been cool. But yes, the Rios holograms are good. We only have one though. Emmett! That's his name. But we get a rather fun scene of him just being fun, having some fun, and safe protocols off, beats up the lady, defeats her. It's fun. It's a good reintroduction. Seven talks about how she actively deactivated the rest of the holograms because they were annoying.
I can't see you.
Can't see you either, Stuart. You're a spinning ball. Let me reset. What a day for it to fail. Oh, I'm gonna quit Skype, I think, fully. Let me do this. Open it fresh. And I do voiceover for this live. So what do you think of Emmett the hologram and Seven's?
Loved it. Loved Emmett. I thought he was awesome. Seven, I don't know what situation prompted this. People beaming aboard the ship to steal medical supplies, but damn. It was a great scene. I love that he spoke Spanish the whole time and felt, as Sylvia said, he felt like a pirate. I love the character. And then her, like, we should try, wish I could delete your therapeutic subroutines. And he's like, yeah, you will not do that for me. It was just awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a simple premise, but the payoff is so good that it just shows the character. And Seven's a solo operator now, which also explains why she has such a shitty ship in the first season. The little fight that was destroyed in 5 seconds. Goes back into the Borg stuff, but she doesn't feel as... Like, the acting is different. She was directed different this year, and it feels it. She feels more in line with what you expect, a bit more professional, a bit more go-getter. Just tonally, I can see this being... I mean, it would have been a hell of a weird, straight season 1. Oh my god, there's 7 of 9. What the hell? So you kind of need season 1 for her part. But I liked it. And yeah, it was a fun thing.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Benson throws in $5. Was glad to see the other class starships. The starship, a rumor, I heard they brought someone who worked with the ships in TNG DS9 in the movies. Not a rumor, that's Doug Drexler. And they brought in a few people, actually, even Michael Okuda for the Elcars. So,
yep, Johnny's, Mike Denise, Bill Krause, Doug Drexler, Thomas Maroney, Hector Ortiz.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a rumor, my friend.
Yes. I did find it a bit odd they were so close to the anomaly. I mean, maybe it's because of Borg implants. That might be a plot point later.
Maybe there's a link. Yeah,
I'm absolutely fine with it because of plot convenience. There's zero reason for it to be here otherwise. So I'm like, okay, 1 out of a million, fine. It kept the pace really quick, but that could be nice if it was linking to a Borg. Because if she's the only Borg components in that sector, then okay.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I think there might be some kind of link later that we're going to find out about. But yeah, I kind of wondered the same thing at first, and I'm like, wait a minute, she's part Borg, so.
It's not a plot hole, it feels like plot convenience, but I'm actually okay with it. I also love that she's delivering medical supplies. She's not killing people, being sad about Borg. She's Fenris Rangering, whatever that means exactly, medical supplies. good. And the Federation Medical Supplies, so they're like approved by them. So I was like, good. Humanitarian, excellent.
And they make a point several times of even Rafi saying, she likes to help people,
Yep.
and then, she later says, I was helping people instead of, taking care of your old ship.
Yeah. Now, I want to give them massive, massive credit in this show for, in this episode, they reestablished every single character from scratch, all with a new version of motivation, all feeling fresher, newer, and a better tone. Every single one was given a redo. And I thank them for all of them, because they all worked. So, yeah, I thought this was good. And then we get Riverton Beach Quadrant. Which actually, it doesn't tell us that much. But yeah, she's talking to bald people. I had zero context who they were, because they're just bald aliens. But Stuart blew my mind with this.
Oh, Deltons, yeah. Because Soji, at the end, there was like, I thought I might have to break out into Delton folk songs. But yeah, when we first talked about it, I said, well, they're all bald. It's probably Deltons. And then, yeah, it looks like it was, so...
And who are the Deltons, Stuart? Because they could do bald people.
Who are they? What?
Who are the Deltons? Why are Deltons cool?
I don't know. Because Aliyah was one?
Because Aliyah was one from TMP. With a vow of celibacy. One of the stupidest lines in Trek. Because they're a darn horny species, I guess. And now these 2 days are surrounded by
No, they
lots of
emit
horny
pheromones,
people.
which makes everyone around them horny. So when you join Starfleet, you have to... Yeah. It's
But
not stupid.
But it's cool though, and I liked this guy flirting better second time because he's just being him. She's taking it as flirting. He's just being like, well, we all have sex on this planet. What do you want? Like, it's like saying hello. She's like, hello, but she's drunk. No synthahol for her because she's actually drunk for the next 2.5 scenes.
Christian Montgomery, $2. The emissary sounds like 7. Also, 7 wasn't fired at.
I didn't hear Jerry's voice, I'll be honest, but wasn't fired at, but she also stopped firing back. But also 7 had to be in the scene for other reasons. So I get why you're saying that, but I think that's just because of, had to be capable to talk for later in the scene.
Hunter, PDX, throws in $5. I watched Discovery and Picard back to back and was stunned at just how much better the overall story, acting, and pacing was with Picard. Girardi is weird, though. She is weird, but... I love what she says here, not exactly dating material. And my last serious relationship was only like a year, and then the one I just ended, and then, and I just got acquitted of murder charges for my ex. Due to temporary insanity due to alien interference. It's hilarious. The look on the guy's face was good.
Yeah, it's like, he's just like, what do I say to this? And then she gets hailed. It's a great, No, I thought it was, her character was defined by the actions of the character in Season 2, not by who she was or how well she acted it. So the fact they reset her again was good, because the actor is fine, good. Not quite the Tilly, because she doesn't play the smart angle very much. That's quite neutral in her, but that awkwardness. But I buy her being like this sheltered girl who went to school, was genius, went straight to Daystrom, was a genius, and just sort of stayed indoors and played with tech. That I buy that in the performance very well. Now she is looking after her, her ex-boyfriend's creation as sort of the mother-in-law, which is great. This was a good way of achieving that. And exposition dump, but you know what? We would have complained had they not said this stuff in dialogue. So the fact they addressed it fully, detailedly, correctly, good. And you know what? Yes, okay, acquitted for murder. I'm okay with that. As long as you say it, it's okay. And the time jump helps as well, because, time jump. No, it was good. It's good. Although a bit abrupt. I didn't quite understand when she gets hailed by Rios. He's like... And he always thought he said, no, don't talk to me again. But he's hailing her out of the blue.
Well, she probably messaged him and he was getting back to her.
But that
Which you should like, because he wasn't available right away.
But... Okay, so you're saying that maybe you're saying she did drunk text him earlier in the scene. It happened to be he's coming.
He probably messaged her saying, "I need your help. Message me back when you can," and she did. And then he messaged her back again and said, I literally, yeah, anyway, that's what I think happened. It was just, it's not very well explained, but you kind of have to wade through it and figure it out.
My vague interpretation was that she accidentally pressed it while being drunk, and so Rios was hearing the call or something, and he's like, hello? I don't know. It was a slightly weird moment. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then she goes up to,
but yeah,
drunkenly goes up to the Stargazer. Ta-da!
Where Soji's staying behind to keep doing her mission.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Let's see. Carwin, they're okay. See, Edward, is that what she said? I couldn't quite be clear. Yes, Dan, they were.
What? You can talk.
I was talking to the chat. Yes, brand new ship. Bit weird to have Jurati being tipsy, but it's quite fun. Captain Rios kicking bottom. I like his tone here. He's very commanding while not being annoyed, well, not being too whatever. He does put her on hold for a second because he's preparing. You know, the first thing you have him do is be very ready. Everyone's talking to everybody. He's getting the zone. I thought that was good. And we get a good set of shots of the bridge. And do expect a full breakdown, Stuart and audience, of the bridge. In fact, we recorded it, and it was way longer than we thought it was going to be. So expect a pretty darn detailed breakdown, even more than we thought it was going to be. Lots of thoughts. Then we get the exterior. And there she is. The Stargazer. Not A. No bloody A, B, C, or a D. Just classic.
God. Eric Martin throws in $5. Joy didn't lose her lunch, so I like her a lot better this season. Amen.
Yeah.
Overog puts in £10.
Thank you.
Says, love this episode. The new Stargazer is awesome, and I find authorization code I can remember. Carter's not a guy who has the same for everything.
It's standard code.
And Captain Kurt, $5. I like the throwback to Enterprise E with the burgundy chairs.
Yeah, yeah. And Titan.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
They definitely make it feel like that for sure.
Built a little bit.
Chairs.
Picard. Aesthetic.
Chat up Picard. Wine. Yeah. And Kit 10K, $10. I'm back. You'll never be rid of me.
Oh.
Sinister sound. Crap. Did I really write that out loud? Yes, you did.
Which is very impressive, given you had to physically type it. Very impressive. So, I my poll, 252 votes, phenomenal. How happy were you to see Picard in uniform at the Academy? 62% loved it, 23% liked it, 15% and 1% didn't like, which we rarely have a 1%, so I'm happy to see a 1%. So the rest of you, yay! 99% positive. Excellent. New poll incoming.
A beautiful pan of the ship, and yes, the shuttle bay door is closed before they go to work. Thank God.
And it's not massive.
They know how to.
It's a medium-sized
the safety protocols. Yeah.
Okay, new poll coming up about the Stargazer Bridge. Vote in the poll. Let's see what you guys think. So next scene, we are back to a almost reuse of a Discovery shot, but the shuttle's actually a little bit different. It's a bit weird, but hey-ho. Yeah, Starfleet Academy with USS Sulu, which is nice. And for some reason, a pregnant lady is giving orders. Cool, bit of texture. All good. All for it. Oh, I like how you can see a crane in the distance in the live-action LA plate. Just a crane. And social distancing, vaguely as well. But yes, assignments, transporter patterns, and a really good-looking random set. But it had a nice, how to make a walk and talk fun? You put it in a random cool location. Yeah! First, Raffi Stewart. Any of us are Raffi fans? What do you think of the Raffi reintroduction?
What did I think?
Yeah.
That was all right. I dislike her a lot less this season because I did not like her character in the first season, but so far she hasn't annoyed me yet, so I mean she's good. But got to mention the USS Hikaru Sulu and the USS Grissom, which were mentioned here as well, which is nice. So, but yeah, and a lot of the musical cues in this I really enjoyed as well. Musical beats and things throughout. A lot of people said that there was weird editing choices with the music. I didn't hear that. I heard some really good moments that made me think Star Trek. So, you know. But yeah, seeing Raffi and Picard have this discussion and her not call him JL was I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the cringe, and it never happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Picard's Chancellor of the Academy.
Yeah, Raffi was good. You know, she was not great in season 1 because, you know, not a very interesting storyline, but back in uniform, back in the zone, she's channeling what the actress has to offer, but in a good way. Informal, but not too informal. Yeah, it's good. You know, it felt like him write it again, and she fits the uniform well. That color suits her, and actually, it's interesting. Yeah, she's not command track, so she must be an engineer, I guess. She'd have to be. Or she should be in red. Yeah. I never thought that. Yeah, she was yellow in the flashbacks. I wonder where she fits in because she's not. What's the other? She's not security, so unless like hacking security counts as security, which I guess it could be. But yeah, Picard's good. He's positive. They talk about love life. It's a bit shoehorned in, but it's okay. And she dismisses him, saying, "Oh, you wouldn't know anything about love." And he's like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, I mean, you do, but you don't, you know, because I've got a kid and you don't." It's like, "Oh, thanks for that." But we go see long-hair Elnor, and we see some ships in the background, a Reliant. We see Picard's original test ship, his warp test ship. The John Eves one in the background, the Excelsior, the Stargazer. No changes, just exactly as they should. Good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. And it's a nice little talk. And it looks great in uniform. It's a great vibe. Gives him a book.
I love how he's worried that he can't study because he's too worried or nervous or excited. And he says, "Yeah, it's a perfect passage in this book talking about, you know, Spock's time as one of the first Vulcans in Starfleet, and I love it. It's perfect."
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's very sweet. It's prime real estate. Picard being Picard, you know, he knows that Spock obviously credited for unification hasn't happened yet, but he would respect that surely as much as he does know about it. No, he's and it also was nice. He wasn't channeling so much the "you're my long lost child" vibe, which actually didn't even occur until just now.
Yeah.
Wait for Stuart to come back, and I'll chat to him about that.
I can hear you fine.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, would you agree that he didn't feel like he was treating him like his long lost son that we all kind of complained about in season 1, just like a low key friend, you know?
Yeah, that was way better for sure. I even love how he's assigned to the Excelsior with Raffi, and he says, "Oh, you're keeping her close to you, are you?" And she's like, "Yeah, well, he's an absolute candor, can get his ass kicked, so I gotta watch out for him." Because, yeah, he's definitely still Quatmalat trained, so he'll tell it as it is. And he's a Romulan, so.
I much preferred the mothering for Raffi to him. I thought that was much more organic. Both warriors, to some extent, both more fiery. I thought that was... I mean, Raffi speaks it like it is too. I thought that was great. And yeah, she's off to work on the Excelsior, the real... we presume a recommission or just massively refitted. Who knows? Don't know. But yeah, both on the Excelsior. Still a cadet though, not graduated yet because they're not in full uniforms. But yeah, that was cool. And then we get a somber Picard looking at his old Stargazer. It's totally look where we'll be later. Wink.
Squadron Course, $2. Oh, sorry, Matt Deckard, $5. The Stargazer nacelles look like a blend of Refit, Connie, Ambassador, and Excelsior. Quite the blend. The ship is magical. Is a magical bash. Yeah, we have an episode coming out about that where we talk about the nacelles because they are a cool design. So, stay tuned.
And Thanis says, "So it wasn't the Shinjo? No, it was a different ship. It was a weirdly Tianjiro's test ship, whatever." But Tom says, "Hey, did you see Temple Institute? Already listed all the ships in the Picard fleet in a video today. Also, did you find the Stargazer Bridge looks a bit like my Inquisitor Bridge concept? Yeah, a little bit for the second half there. And yes, we've done lots of videos on ships already. We don't. There's lots to talk about. We're not going to throw them all out in one day because I have to edit them all. So you'll get them over the next week. But yes, we know all the ships, and I recognise most of them straight away because we know ships. I mean, maybe not necessarily the exact Nebula version, but it's Nebula version, etc. The Doctor, Elnor can't have his damn sword. That's true. No sword.
Yeah,
that's good. Cynical Optimist, Mr. Super Chat.
Somebody said.
Wherever that has gone.
Cynical Optimist, $2. Did I hear the first contact theme briefly here?
I don't.
Possibly.
I mean, there's lots of good themes. I would just call them Trek themes. I wouldn't say first contact. What a great shot though of the Stargazer looking at it normally. Like it's lit better. It's lit by the green, but it looks nice. It looks detailed. The red and the green, the red and the blue. It comes in. Look at the detail. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Squadra Course, $2. If this was season 1, it would be my favorite series opener. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Hit like, guys. We have 304 people here with 282 likes. Let's get to 300 likes. I'm sure we can do it.
And David says, do you guys think it's safe to say the Odyssey class from Stowe will be used in Enterprise F? Well, chances have got a lot higher, in fairness.
Yes.
Much higher.
We're not going to see the Enterprise. We don't need to see the Enterprise. No. Yeah.
I could see it being like in the alternate universe and it gets destroyed, or something. As a way of saying, well, it is canon in this universe, and then it...
Yep, I can see that for sure, but I don't want to see it in Prime. I don't need to, I don't want to, I don't care.
Verity, maybe. I mean, I think Verity makes more sense to see that, but we'll see. Definitely more chance. And there was also remastered with Thomas Moroni, etc.
Kit 10K throws in $10, so thanks so much. Looking at the aft view of the Stargazer, there's a few elements of the design I'm not too crazy about, but it feels like it still works well enough. Well, let's be fair. The aft of the original Stargazer was just very utilitarian, very industrial, very thrown together.
Yep.
And wasn't pretty. So it works.
As if they just stuck pieces onto a bit of plastic and resin. Which they did. And Darth Maul, Akiva Goldsman helped write this. My respect for him is raised drastically after this one. But who's to say who else helped him? Because, yeah.
Dotwin X says, but there were 2 to 3 Sovereign class ships.
Yes.
Maybe one of those is the Enterprise, is what everybody was saying. What do you have to say about that, Samuel? I want to hear your thoughts.
Nope. No. We'll get there when we get there.
Oh, it's brought up though. You got to mention it now.
Oh no, it's not.
Why though? Why is it a problem?
Because why would it? Okay, fine. I'll do it now. Okay, do it now.
Do it. Talk about it now.
Because why would it be the Enterprise, Stuart? There are going to be dozens of sovereigns, if not 24. Why would it be the Enterprise? The chance of that are so small. It could be anywhere in the galaxy. If it's still the Enterprise, it's been 15 to 16 years. Picard hasn't been the Captain Enterprise for a long time. Who took over? Who took after that? They could have had Troy come in and crash that version. We don't know. That may have been the last ship. Who knows? So no reason to think it's still the E. It's probably the F.
What's the real world reason that annoys you? What you talked to me about earlier today.
Okay, so the original.
Here we go.
There we go. The original reason back in the old shows in TNG, they didn't want to use. They rarely use Enterprise D. Rarely the Galaxy class, was because if you included the Constitution class refit, aka Enterprise A, on screen, it would confuse our audience, says the producers. They would think it's the Enterprise. Or, if you include the Sovereign class, the Enterprise E, in anything DS9, which they had a 3D model of, people think it's the Enterprise, even if you have more than one of them. And to my amazing surprise, I've seen so many comments saying, is that the Enterprise? And I thought to myself, God damn it, those producers are right. Some people did assume, seeing three random Sovereigns in the back, one must be the Enterprise, despite the Enterprise would be the front of the fleet, X, Y, and Z. So, damn, I thought we were all smarter than that. I'm not saying they're dumb, necessarily, but why would it be the Enterprise, is the question. By that logic, I mean, why would it be the Excelsior, obviously, but it is the Excelsior, we already know. There are lots of ships, lots of Sovereigns. Just be thankful we see several sovereigns. We know it's a larger fleet. We only ever saw the one whatever. But if it was the Enterprise E, it would be a big deal having the flagship come in. Arguably, Picard would then take over that ship because he knows it better. He knows nothing about this ship. He knows the capability of the E, given that they're not refitted, they're fully classic. So yeah, it would not be Enterprise. I mean, if the dialogue said, Rio says, the Enterprise walked in, and Picard's like, Enterprise? And then the Queen walks in, fine. But damn, producers are right. People do think. Yeah.
Yes, Mino Other says DS9 had a Galaxy class in one episode and Jem'Hadar destroyed it fast. Yeah, but he also said this is the Odyssey class. Look, it's even a different bridge. This is not the Enterprise, guys.
Yeah, they were destroyed the Galaxy bridge because of Generations. They didn't even have that bridge to film on. And they introduced the captain straight away, so no one was going to think that was the Enterprise. And the entire point of that was to literally to show, that ship we had as our 7-year hero ship last year, we're destroying it in our season. And the producers like, it's symbolic because they knew the E was coming, etc.
Cynical Optimist puts in £5.
Thank you.
The biggest compliment I can pay this episode is that it made me feel like I wanted to join Starfleet, be on Rios' crew, and explore. Seems like a cool commanding officer. Hell yeah. Totally agree. Like the way he talked to his crew too.
Yeah.
He did a really good job.
And I'll talk about the crew in a minute, but I was very impressed by his crew.
Yeah.
Very impressed by
Except they didn't follow his orders. But hey, stop firing. Stop firing. Stop. This is important. This is my bridge. Stop fire. I'm just going to sit down at this point.
Let them die. It's just...
Andre Benson throws in $2. Did you guys see the preview for Star Trek Picard Episode 2?
Well, the continuation of the scene. It's just a cue. He has a phenomenal pun, which is only a pun in the real world.
Is it punny?
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
Christian
sure.
Montgomery.
Yeah, I was punned by it. Yeah.
Christian Montgomery has been remembered for 16 months at the rank of captain, so thank you so much for your service. If any Trek writers are watching, pay attention to what Trekyards has to say. Very knowledgeable duo, best community, and #1 Trek YouTube channel. Aww, that is awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We do try, and there's a lot of stuff coming out for us as well, with us. I mean, jam-packed. Jam-packed.
Yeah. Jason6690 throws in $20. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to get my hands on those ample nacelles, if you know what I mean. I mean, there's a picture of Dorati on screen right now, so I don't know what you mean. Not very ample, I guess. But
I also have some vague breaking news, at least breaking news comment by John Eves, just posted on Facebook, about the Stargazer. We were talking about. John Eves says, what was the best part about working on Season 2 was that we got to upgrade an old-fashioned ship. The Stargazer was a wicked cool model made by Greg Jean for the TNG series. It changed colour often throughout the show's run, and it was always cool to see it as desktop model or in a VFX setting. When we were challenged with upgrading this classic ship, it was nothing short of a full team effort. David Blass, production designer coordinator, guided all the sketches and designs that I was working on, and once we got it to where everyone liked it, the illustrations, Doug Drexler stepped in and started the 3D modelling of the ship. Great days to work with Dave and my old friend on such a fun project. Doug would model away and send me over early models all the way to completion to do paint overs, and it was truly one of the many highlights working on Picard. Just in case you don't know, Mr. Drexler is a genius. Without his skill, talent, artistic knowledge, this would not even be as memorable. Doesn't mention Thomas Maroney, who did a lot of work on it as well, but that's okay, I guess. Probably should have, but there you go.
Charles June, $5. Great time for Trekyards. Thank you for the continued content. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Squadron Course, $2. In my honest opinion, it's the best live-action Trek since Endgame. Wow. There you go.
I mean, we can't really say that given it's one episode. We all thought other episodes were good. I mean, so let's not say that yet. Let's wait for it to pay off first. But
well, Gareth Fairclough says, honestly, I found the episode dull. Really dull.
Wow.
So, no matter what, you can't make everybody happy.
No. Colin, soon. Real soon.
You should probably read the comment before you answer so people know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I was talking to him. I was directly at him.
Okay, that's fine. I won't even read it then. Whatever, they can all be in the dark. Stern Von Alk, $5.
Thank you.
Great googly moogly. The USS Excelsior is over 100 years old, and people are saying sovereign's an old rust bucket. It's because people are curmudgeons and just can't be happy with anything. So
that's why listen to Trekyards, because we're balanced. But this bridge, even more life and love in the second shot, in the second scene. They show it, they feel it. You get to see Seven, you get to see, view screen doing its thing. He complains about the ship being beaten up. I can't see any
difference. What did you do to my ship? Yeah.
Looks the same to me, but we don't get any real close-ups of it. But I like the chemistry here. And I think it's a good time to... Oh, I like how you see her holograms of Rios in the classic style. You get to see this nice, different approaches. Civilian uses one thing. Because this is, remember, a brand... Actually, this is a good point. This is a brand new Starfleet ship. No frickin' holograms. Seven did not walk onto the bridge in a hologram. Didn't even occur to me because it was so obviously they wouldn't. But think about it for a second. In Discovery, that's canon. So they could have easily had that and justify it. They didn't. They had genuine view screen conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Just going to point that out as being a good job. This is a brand new ship. Not like an old rust bucket. Brand new. That's still the standard. Good job.
And here they get a sound coming out of the anomaly. It's a signal of some kind. So, Girardi runs over and goes up and under. And
almost falls. Yeah.
And the sir, just let her do it. It's fine. It was kind of funny. But then we find out that it's just a bunch of voices, different languages, dozens of different languages, all saying, "Help us, Picard. Help us, Picard."
And as soon as they said many voices in one, I was like, Borg.
Yep.
So I didn't see the ship in the start. I wasn't zoning into Borg this early, and I wasn't convinced that person in the trailer was Borg, because it might not have been. Red herring and all. But
I called that the Queen. I called that as the Queen right away when you saw that.
You did.
I know it kind of threw you a little bit, but...
Yeah. And briefly, just this is a good point to mention, I want to give another bit of big kudos. In this scene, we get introduced to this Indian communication science officer, I guess, whatever. But also we get a black lady, we get a Trill man later on with a really great spot pattern, and an Asian man who I believe is second in command. And I said this to you and you laughed the first time I told you this in yesterday's review. With their seconds of screen time each. I mean seconds. I like all four of them more than the bridge crew on Discovery. Now, is that embarrassing on me, or Discovery, or impressive on Picard? Be honest. Because you've now watched it again. What do you think?
It's embarrassing on Discovery and very impressive on Picard, because you're absolutely right. I thought the same thing. It felt like a normal, natural crew. Everybody's likable, and it's like, yeah, cool, sweet. Y'all got shit to do. A captain that cares. So.
That is so unbelievably sad. It really is, because the black lady, he said, we don't know any names. That's the only difference. We don't know their names. It's been 40 seconds each. Give us a break. The way that Rose talks about her, you clear, great, competent, does what she does. This woman, she's like, I'm feeling drunk, sir. You get character. It comes off. The one motion of the Asian guy, boom, character. Every single one of them had something in their their face that was like, they're fully committed to this small bit. And that's so strange. Whereas Bryce, at least in season 1, 2, and some of 3, just sort of says a line. And they just did more here. I'm really hopeful we'll see them presented more and given more, but I really liked them. They all had distinct looks, and the fact that Bajoran and Trill, like just yeah, I know it's weird. I know it's weird, guys, but I really like this crew every second of them.
Mm-hmm,
That's just me.
Kit 10K throws in $10.
Thank you.
I will say the Bridge of the Stargazer is far superior to the Bridge of the one Riker was on at the end of season 1. Yes.
Although you can see a visual link though. They did like the view screen. So they did
a few things.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason B, $5. This anomaly looks like a startup screen for the original Xbox. Yes, absolutely.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And Hunter PDX puts in $5. I totally agree. Part of the issue on Discovery is that the dialogue is so stilted, and everyone here seems much more natural, like real officers. Yeah, like a crew.
And it's amazing. Rios had been a captain less than a year, and you wouldn't think he'd get the ship straight away. So he has really made an effort to bond with his crew. I'm guessing
he's a nice guy. I mean, I love the way his commander tosses the lighter at him and he catches the lighter. Like, that was awesome.
I'm guessing that he was lonely but wouldn't admit it with his holograms. So as soon as he got a crew, he probably handpicked them. He zones in. This is my crew now. I'm fully on board. Once his trauma went away from season 1. And briefly, one more little benefit. This shot of Rios through the hologram I thought looked so freaking cinematic. It was the spoiler-free thumbnails. Like, look how cool that looks. Just like he is zoned in. Just credit to really, really good, because that's just CG. It's just him on a set with beautiful looking, perfectly out of focus CG in front of him. I just thought it was a really good shot.
It was a really good shot. And I like the fact that there's a holographic displays that you can put over the railings, because she does it on the other side later.
Yes. Yep.
Which makes sense, as opposed to Discovery's just all the screens in front of them, which are still glass, but just looks much better this way.
And it links in with the future tech, but it's accessory stuff. It's not primary displays. So I can, And then we get an unusual shot of LA, I guess?
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm assuming we're going to see some digital landscaping, because that was quite a thing, like, oh, future LA. That's new. Cool, though.
And Picard beams into Forward Street. 10 Forward Street, to be exact. Which looks very industrial and dirty and back alley, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it's fine.
Guidon's a woman of the people, I like it. I have no problem with it. And she walks in. I think she sees him through the window glass, through the whatever. But either way, it's played for well. And we get a cheerful Picard. She says, "Captain." He's like, "Admiral." And it's jokey. It's fun. It's very much like fresh Picard. It's a great vibe instantly.
Yeah.
She's wearing a classic costume, zoning in. The colours are great. They're friends. I wish they'd seen each other since he was Admiral, because clearly she would have said Admiral if she knew he was an Admiral, like, met him as an Admiral, so they haven't seen each other for a while. But this gets off to a surprisingly good start, this scene.
He brings her a bottle of Chateau Picard for her personal reserve, and they address, I love how she says, you're pushing a century... I'm pushing several. I don't think we should reserve anything, which was nice. And then they talk about, well, Elorians live so much longer than humans. Yeah, but humans don't like to be reminded of that. So, I'm trying to keep up, because we only age slowly.
Thanks, Doc.
That's what she said. So I thought that was nice. Nice little addressing of the issue, and boom, moving on.
It's as if they thought it through, and people might say something, because she literally can't age. And she hasn't aged since the, 1800s. So why the hell would she age in these 15 years? The answer is she wouldn't, unless she did. Although
Unless she wanted to,
I also I always assumed she was 1,000 or in the late hundreds. That was just my vibe.
I just always had this sense, I don't know if I heard it somewhere, but 700 years.
Yeah, I would have said about that as well.
Yeah.
So when she said, I'm a few centuries old, and the way she implied, I'm running the end of my clock, I've still got 400 years left, but in the context of several hundred, that's... So I got a bit more of a sense of morbidness with it, a little bit. She wasn't playing the I'm Elorian, I'm middle aged. How old are you? 480. It felt a bit more cynical. I'm okay with that, but just a little note. I don't know if you guys would agree.
Matt Boardman throws in $10 and says Rios has those great captain's vibes, and the uniform looks great on him. So glad they took the character in this direction.
Yep.
Totally agree. We actually said at the end of season 1 it would be cool if he would join Starfleet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he has genuine screen presence. So much they gave him 5 presences in season 1. Yeah.
She's like, "What's wrong? Never saw you. Wait, I have seen you like this, and it's serious." And then, so is this a top shelf discussion or a hooch discussion? It's hooch, I think, and so it's Surrey and Brandy. I love that.
Nice characterful, and this is the sort of thing where the booze could be anything, but why not have it be Surrey and Brandy? That adds something to everything. And hooch, it's a good scene. It's beautifully lit. It's well paced. It is a bit slow, and it is a bit. Do you remember that scene we had with his love life? Let's have part 2 of that. It's a bit telegraphed. But they're trying to reboot their show with now a romance story arc, so let's focus on that. But I can imagine he's older, he literally died, he's just had his only woman in his life he mess up, so he's at this unique end of his tether of I don't know, I'm just going to blurt everything out and just go blunt. So I get the mindset, and I quite like he doesn't tell her the mum backstory. I like his holding back, it feels very him. He's here to talk, but not necessarily to talk. So I thought actually, I was not amazingly zazzed about Guinan just because I'm let's see. I was impressed. I was pleased.
Hmm. Then the whole conversation about exploring and putting your life on the line, but putting your bones out there to be broken, but not your heart. Whether it be organic or synthetic, the only thing you haven't wanted to explore is in here. So I thought that was an awesome discussion, and then to the point where she's like, "We should just drink." So
it could have been kind of funny to cut like 3 hours later. Look, Guidon, my mother. That could. I was kind of waiting for that hard cut to now they're just drunk, but that's fine. It's good, and I will say that. Okay, mild spoilers. So hold your ears if you don't want mild spoilers. That goes for you as well, Stuart. Doesn't care. There is a behind-the-scenes picture of Raffi in full costume in this bar with Guinan with a different hat with Picard. So you said you'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back. I mean, obviously, he was going to come back, but there will be a scene with those characters later on.
Yeah, we've seen him beam into this district, the streets.
But that's evil him.
Truck sitting there.
That's evil him though. This is prime him because Raffi's in the scene and he's wearing the same.
So no, it's prime him. It's prime him that beams in behind the pickup truck.
Evil com badge.
Yeah, but he's wearing the evil com badge at the end of this episode.
Yes, but I'm saying there's another scene of him in good him where he goes into the bar.
Oh, that could be just. Yeah, but he's going to be back here for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, and then we get the Picard chateau, and then a Discovery shuttle landing.
Should I do a dramatic zoom?
You should, because nobody believed me. And everybody's like, "It's not a Discovery shuttle," and then I was like, "The one he arrived at the Stargazer on was not a Discovery shuttle." It's not what I said. The one that showed up at the chateau, and it's not. You're not assuming that this shuttle took them all the way to the Stargazer. This shuttle would have taken him to another ship, which warped in with the fleet, which then took him to the Stargazer.
Well, not just that, but he was wearing a different costume. He probably had to eat something, etc.
Yeah,
but no, that is. Although it is weird because the other shuttle does warp out with the same spotlight on, I believe. So it's meant to tell you it's the same ship, but it literally isn't. And yes, it is undeniably a Discovery shuttle. I'm guessing it was one of the first VFX shots they did before the guy said, "Derek."
We're tongue in cheek.
Well,
saying everybody's complaining about it. This is the last time we're going to use it. Just put it in the distance. Nobody will notice it.
You really can't tell unless you're really looking for it. It is so distant.
I noticed it right away.
But I thought it could be a type.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, it's a Discovery shuttle.
I thought it could be a Type 6 variant. I wasn't convinced. Like, you have to look, but it is one for sure. I like the shot though. This is a cool visual. Although I do think the shuttle will give more light than it's giving off, so it hit the environment. But yeah, this is great. I'm back in Starfleet, man. What an important scene, Although I like how when she explains the scene, because like, I think a few dozen officers that are more qualified. It's like, yeah, you're very qualified for this. Only a few dozen of like 50,000 officers. Oh, there's a few dozen, like at least 6 more qualified than me. It's like, yeah.
Well, I like how it's like they're only willing to talk to you, and as he stands up, I'm like, should have said, well, it's a good thing I didn't die last year. What? Imagine if he was dead, and then this thing comes through, and if you only want to speak to Picard. Well, he died though. We don't care. We want to speak to Picard.
Bad news. He died when he sacrificed himself to save the universe from some giant squid monster aliens, and then it just closes. Like, okay, I guess that was Thursday.
Then it'll be war then, and the horror Armada comes through.
Yeah.
Doc McGillicuddy puts in $5.
Thank you.
I'm going to say it now, but how the Borg Queen is Picard's mom. I'll say it now, but somehow what?
Oh, he means because of the voice. You've got to remember, guys, that when he was assimilated into Locutus, the Borg had access to all his memories. So if they ever wanted to manipulate him, they could with his memories. So that's easy, Yeah. How do we want? There's going to be something clever there. But I do believe though, because I saw online, this is the same actress who's actually an astronaut. Well, she's an astronaut, not an actress, who been TNG in the 80s as that one astronaut
transporter chief.
Not the same character because they have to pay the royalties to the original writer, I'm assuming. So different character. Would have been great if it was the same character. But
I didn't know it was the same person. That's cool.
Same person. So it's astro. I mean, that's what I've been told. I did think the uniform was a bit scruffy. The pips were literally underneath the collar. I mean, they didn't. I guess maybe it was a reshoot or rushed because, and then not fitted whatsoever for the actress. Like doesn't look great on her. But I like her vibe though. Respectful. She doesn't say sheer fucking Picard. Come back and work. If you say no, you're a
It would have been great if it was Clancy that showed up.
Oh.
Because Clancy was supposed to show up to save the day at the end of the first season. It would have been nice to see her, but more respectful. But
tonally though, I'd feel an edge seeing her.
Yeah, until she says nice things.
Yeah.
Ozzy throws in $2 and
Ozzy.
says it's a Discovery shuttle. Yes, it is.
Ozzy, got to think of a new catchphrase for the season. I'm waiting. And I do believe that's his flute. That's his flute on the coffee table.
And his Picard photo album, which was on the Enterprise D in Generations.
Which are arguably two of his most important items. And I will just comment briefly. The version of this episode I was sent is extremely high quality. I was able to brighten these things and maintain quality extremely effectively. I don't know if you did that ever on your end, Stuart, but
No, I don't brighten them usually.
There's a lot of detail in the blacks, and I'm like, I've been enhancing these, and it's like, wow, these things pop. So it's very dark. It's a very dark show, but there is a lot of detail there. So I'm like, yes, fantastic. But a great little gentle scene here. Picard feels like he's on point. Information's on point. It's so in character. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and then he leaves with her and doesn't tell Laris. Laris kind of comes in right after he leaves and sees the shuttle take off. So,
and obviously doors can be open in France. I kind of wish you walked in with her bags packed, like, all right, I'm leaving, Picard. Picard. Oh fuck, I'm leaving anyway, and beams out with a comedic version.
It would have been better, I think, if when she saw the shuttle take off, she said, "Cheeky fucker." Just under her breath kind of thing.
So you won't date me, but you leave me? Oh, fucker. Twice in 2 days. I made you supper? God, no supper. But then you get a hardcore warp out. That pilot is a cocky son of a bitch, warping out 30 meters from a goddamn ship and a temporal Borg anomaly. Bloody hell, that pilot. Bloody hell. But it's great.
But cool shuttle. Cool shuttle. Not a Discovery shuttle at this point.
No. I mean, it's very clearly a Type 11 modified modern. Just a smooth type.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Didn't need to happen. I liked it. I like the CGI shot of the ship. They're not bashful of the ship models this year. Phenomenal. And we did get a picture via Terry, one of the directors, that yes, is a shuttle interior. So we will get a full shuttle interior later on in the season, which is fantastic too. So we will see this inside and out. So yay! New shuttle. And we get in the shuttle bay, and it's not huge.
But it looks like Discovery's shuttle bay.
it
Before it lands, though,
okay.
I got to point out that you see the doors open, just enough for the shuttle to get through, and the spotlight shines on the doors. But as they were walking away from it, it's Discovery's shuttle bay. Even down to, like, the emblem on the floor.
But I mean, in fairness, they did add a blue light for the door. Because the Reliant has that. Yeah. Put in the chat who noticed that's the Discovery Shuttle Bay 3D model. But I mean, if you've already got that, if it's out of focus,
it's a shuttle.
It's fine. I have zero problem with that. And you can't even tell the scale really. It's just more like a green screen. That's kind of what you get from that. No, I did find that a bit funny. I'm like, ha. Discovery.
Kit 10K throws in $20.
Ooh.
Just wanted you guys to know I just now got the TNG Type 2 hand phaser I've been talking to you guys about.
Ooh.
It needs 2 minor adjustments, but otherwise turned out like I wanted. Awesome to hear. Andre Benson, $5. Do you guys think we will see the Doc Ock Borg again? If so, do you think there will be a huge final battle with the Stargazer and the fleet? Well, Stargazer is one word for the ship. Only Stargazer is 2 words because it's this person gazing at the stars for the name of the episode. So that's the first thing I would say. Second thing, yes, we'll see them again, I'm sure. As for a battle, probably not. I don't think there's going to be a fleet battle.
I'm not so sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a Borg battle, because if they're trying to do greatest hits, having a cube battle might be a great way to end. Honestly, we cannot even speculate accurately. But I asked a poll, and boy, 352 votes. That's amazing. What do you think?
More people than we have watching right now.
It is. What do you think of the Stargazer Bridge? I mean, I hope people watch this from the show because 49% loved it, 38% liked it, which is a massive majority. 9% okay, which is still liking it. 3% didn't like it. That is an insanely positive response, guys, from a very good sample size. So that is unanimously liked. Good job, guys.
And Great Nemesis says we saw a more conventional Queen in the trailer. Yes, she's going to be showing up later in the season.
And we've seen her
in
full Borg makeup with Patrick Stewart in the behind the scenes. So we do know what the full body looks like as well, and it looks better than it does. I thought discombobulated. I thought it worked better as a full prosthetic, personally. So I'm happy about that.
Hunter PDX puts in $5. Sadly, since Jabon was killed off screen, cries, and Laris is left behind, I think this is all meant as closure for Picard's chateau life. I don't agree, but hey.
Well, he already died once. They can't re-kill him again in season 3. I'm sorry, they did that once. You know, they played that card, so he'll have to live at the end of the show.
I disagree. I think he's going to die just from old age. On his deathbed, says his goodbyes.
Oh, so you're saying Brent Smiles like, yes, you have as many years left as you had. How many is that? 1.5. Oh.
Well, yeah, he literally said that. The golem was only going to last so long. He's like, you could have given me a few more years.
I know, but
that's a joke.
But it's different to a few more years versus next year and a half. Like there's you know what I mean. He's only 80.
We don't know when season 3 takes place. Season 3 could take place 5 years after this.
Okay. When he's
another time jump.
Oh god, can you imagine 10 years later he's got some kids.
And we know exactly, and we know that season 3 is going to be packed full of ships and star bases. We were told as much. It's going to be much more Trekyards jam, so we're looking forward to that.
More than this one? Oh my goodness.
Yeah. ER Mixon's Craziest Theories throws in $5. I hope they give us an alternate timeline, live action, Lower Decks cameo. Give us Evil Boimler.
That's the time to do it. In the alternate universe, you can do anything you want. He doesn't look like Boimler from the show exactly. Yeah, alternate reality. That's your out. But Stuart, read out the new poll, because I really want to know this one as well.
Let's see here. We got, so what did you think of the Stargazer exterior? Loved it, liked it, okay, didn't like it. Okay, go vote, guys. And hit like. We have 336 likes with 360 people watching. Let's try to get up to 150 or 350. I mean,
but more likes is better.
Yes. Nikolai83 throws in $5. Thank you. Star Trek Rios on the Stargazer is the show we all deserve. Hell yeah.
And I'll be honest, that already makes me more excited than Strange New Worlds, given the sets I've seen. I'm like,
yeah.
And that's really sad. But what do you think of the tone of this Seven and Picard? Because they had never met for some reason, except in Picard Season 1. A lot of trauma between them, and here they are just chatting away. What do you think of how that was played?
It was really well done.
Hi, Jason.
Even the respect to the Admiral, people standing at the side of the hall, and it's Admiral Picard. And it's like, well, Sky was my first command, not this one, of course. And then they talk about it using technology that was based on research that was done on the Borg artifact. So there's Borg elements there, and she's like, I think there's still a lot of hate and fear for the Borg among people, and I think I'm kind of bringing that to the surface by being here. I kind of like that. It was a good discussion, a good walk and talk, and a cool corridor, by the way. And
Kaiman, it was John Eve's Facebook page, just his public Facebook page. Yeah, a couple of thoughts. 7, way better balanced here. Just so much. Just this felt like an older 7 of 9, like so different to season 1. I really enjoyed it, and the context of Picard. She's like, "Oh hey man," he's like, "Oh hello." We hung out after season 1. It was good. We're now friends, but not like it was. They felt more connected. This is how I would have wanted them to act in season 1, obviously, etc. It's very exposition-y. But they're doing a lot to set up this season because they're just throwing away season 1. So they're just resetting and re-expositioning everything. And I'm fine with that. He feels smart. He feels proud. He feels happy. This is good. This is positive, you know?
I like how he says, this is my first ship. This almost feels like I've come full circle. And it's like, oh, foreshadowing. Yeah. You're going to die soon. And then explosion.
Yeah, definitely some heavy-handed, like, yes, this will be my final voyage, and I'm starting where I ended, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay.
Captain Kurt throws in $10.
Ooh, thank you.
Did you find it at all odd that the Borg Queen called him Picard and not Locutus? I get that the Borg asked in Starfleet for Picard, but the Queen called him Picard in person. I don't think it's weird. The Borg are known for adapting and changing as they assimilate new people, new cultures, new things, new ideas. They're an ever-evolving organism. So I have no problem with them. This is a temporal rift they came through as well. We don't know when this Borg is from.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
problem. No problem with them calling him Picard at all.
Or
the Queen calling him Picard.
I would assume that that's a thing about let's put my best up.
Locutus is dead. This is Picard now.
Oh,
this is artificial Picard. Locutus is dead.
Well, double that. It's doubly different. I would just say that I think if you're trying to make peace, don't arguably that was sort of a form of rape, body rape. So if you call him the rape victim, that will gain less positivity. Calling him Picard sends a signal of we want to talk to your version of him, who's not our hubby. He's the real him. So if that's the implied, it's a subtext, but it's important. And I have a couple of non-subject questions I want to think, but if you have anything you want to throw in, subject's fine. Yeah, I'll just keep them saved.
Chris Little, £5. Hot take. I think that Seven's in the Borg Queen mask, and they do something in the past that means that she has to take up the mantle to pacify the Borg. I like that. That would explain why we can't see her. Ooh, I enjoy this very much.
Evil 7 / or maybe that 7 from the future is having to come back and change things because Picard destroyed the ship. She didn't destroy the ship. Like that was not the plan.
I like it.
That's it. I mean, that would be a thing. I don't know what 7's going to do this year, and next year. Yeah, okay.
And when she says "look up," it's like it's the Enterprise. The Enterprise will come and save the day, and
okay,
become the Enterprise show.
That is cool.
Kit cool. 10K throws in $20.
Oh, thank you.
Damn. Good thing I'm not matching $1 per like in this video like I did in the last one. I'd go broke if I tried it on this video. Come on, guys. Let's break 360 likes.
Yes.
Should be easy to do. So 11 more people hit like, please.
And we are doing great, guys. We do rely on this channel for rent, for life, for live, for happiness. And, in fact, I'll be honest, I spend a good chunk of my salary on things for my Trek Shorts web series. So anything you give is kind of like Indigo going with a small eye, etc. So, you're supporting fan films by supporting us here. And then Stuart gets them too.
I have a family with kids and shit, so...
Yeah. Look on him. God. That's such a... Okay. Can I read a non-super chat comment?
Go for it.
Mr. Robbie's Wolf says, why is 7 weird about the Borg enhancements? When Voyager was patented Borg enhancements. Easy. She installed them, so she knows how to use them.
Yes.
Versus taken from an experimental newer cube that was Romulan influence for years, that she disapproved of, that she didn't want it to happen, that she didn't have any say in, that she's now walking on being like, Peel also been against her for Borg. So very, very different. Would you trust a hyped up sports car that you installed or someone else installed? You, relaxed. Other person, maybe less relaxed. So I think easy answer, but good question.
Yeah. Fun will now commence. Puts in $5.
Thank you. I thought.
Yeah, I thought. Q lets 7 be human, but she is assimilated as an adult and becomes Borg Queen. She asks Picard for help, but she cannot control her power.
That sounds too convoluted to me. I don't see that being a thing.
I do agree.
Now, also, it was another spiritual thing. You mentioned it a second ago. Season 2 of Picard, every single officer is like, Admiral on deck, despite not being in uniform. Season 1 of Picard, the guy at the front desk is like, hello, can I help you?
Who are you?
Yeah. Who are you? So, again, symbolic of, fuck you, Picard.
Well, he was out of Starfleet for a while at that point, so I don't really have an issue with that so much from a young kid. But now that he's the commandant or the chancellor, commandant's not right.
Okay,
chancellor of Starfleet.
I mean, you're right. He is more famous again. You're right. He went on. He also saved the galaxy. Fine, but symbolically, the difference of tone is that we now respect Picard as a character. Season 1 is we're now going to actively dismantle him slightly for plot funnies. So just symbolically.
Yeah. But no, I love when it's like Admiral on the bridge and the nice warm smile and welcome from Rios. It's great.
Very minimal as well. He was very in the control captain vibe, but this is super important. He does say make it so earlier because actively in season 1, Rios was a big fan of Picard, like legitimately like a fanboy, and so I like now he's doing the opposite. He's being very professional with him now because now he's like, you're a friend of mine, but I'm going to show you my best foot forward. I like that vibe. It's like, oh, I know you're a fan of mine, Rios. I know. Yeah.
And Picard says something here that's got a lot of people's. Yes. Because he says the older these refits get, the younger they look, implying that the Stargate. A lot of people are like, "Is that the original Stargazer?" No, it's not. But you could assume that it was. This is a new refit of the Stargazer that was just before this. Not necessarily a new build, but a new. I don't know. I hate that he said that. The older these refits get, the younger they look. It's a weird line.
Yeah, there's conflicting dialogue. I will say that there was, I believe it was Doug that said, and we do know Doug just says stuff sometimes, isn't it? And obviously canon is what's in the show, so grain of salt there. He did say this is the original Stargazer, the physical build, which does go again, which is Picard saying yes. The more it's refitted, the less it looks like his original one because if it's refitted to a new thing. But a new class of ship, you wouldn't refit a 150-year-old hull or a 100-year-old hull to be brand new. It wouldn't work as well.
I think there'd be a lot of sizing issues too with the original Stargazer size.
Well, but that's the thing. What's left? The warp cells aren't there. The torpedoes aren't there. The saucer's not there. I mean, the frame. Yeah, I think maybe Doug was implying it's like the ship of Theseus, where it was the original Stargazer and it's refitted 6 times since. So it is technically
8 times because there's an 8 in front of the registry. That's how it works, right?
No, but so it might have been a refit, but I can't see it being literally the same build. I mean, the bridge is radically huger. I mean, none of it is the same. So I don't think it is. It seems odd to me. I mean, even the metals. Why would you use 150-year-old metals? 100-year-old metals? It doesn't make sense. I think just thematically, But I like him commenting. My Stargazer was quaint. This one, boy, this is sleek. Shit, this is huge and shiny. At least it wasn't.
Put a fucking carpet down.
Haven't you been on a starship?
Get 10K throws in $20. Side question for you guys. Let's say there is no Enterprise in service at the moment to carry on the flagship title. Can you see the new Stargazer filling that role until Starfleet Commission? No, why would it? No, there's no reason that the Stargazer would ever be named flagship. Just because, the captain, he knows Picard. We've got a man. No, that's not how the flagship thing works. There's no way a science festival that's the Stargazer would be the flagship. No. Absolutely not. Not even temporary.
I agree. And Keith says they refit a 900-year-old ship in Discovery. Well, totally new nacelles, totally new secondary hull, new saucer.
Programmable matter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a refit, it's a rebuild. They may have used some internal space, but it's like almost everything. Plus, I mean, come on, it's not. It's a new ship. But slightly old stuff, it's fine.
Yeah. Shane Ackery, who's been a member for 12 months at the rank of Admiral, so thank you for your service,
Admiral.
Admiral.
My God, thank you. That's dude, thank you. That's amazing.
Terry Matlas said that the original Stargazer is part of the new ship, like TMP did to the Enterprise refit. No, that's just stupid.
Well, especially as the Stargazer wouldn't have put him back in. Like, it has a date on the plaque. Like, it was not commissioned again when it was brought back to Starfleet. So it was then lying in a junkyard in essence, like we're not using this ship. So they thought, well, rather than build a new ship, we'll go to our 50-year-old facility, grab an old hull.
They could have pulled it out for the Dominion War to add bolster the fleet.
But that's the thing. The graphic in that Picard went to said 2355. So it wasn't in service in the Dominion War. Otherwise, it wouldn't be. Otherwise, it would be in service for 150 years. And it was not the A. And if it was recommissioned to look this, you know what I mean? It doesn't really make sense. I mean, maybe the computer core's housing is the same, but nothing else is.
But Samuel.
Oh, hello.
You look absolutely positronic today. That's the next line.
It's a good line. It's
It is good.
we're not going to
For a
address it being
roboticist?
android, but
Yeah.
yeah, because that's the thing. She also helped work out his brains. It's great. It's all you need. It's reminding us he's a robot, but also we're just doing it entirely. It's like Khan's blood, but a bit more real. But yes, as soon as he's on board, he says, "Right, I guess we'll phone them." Right. Oh, this is Aaron Picard. Is this thing on?
Is this thing on?
Yeah,
Hello,
there you go.
I'm old. What? How's this work?
I love how he just doesn't wait. Straight into
Even
it.
Rios is like, just knock yourself out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think back to TNG, every time an admiral came on board, and the crew's kind of rolling their eyes sometimes because the admiral's starting to take too much power, or it seems crazy, or the situation
Seems crazy. They're always crazy.
Yeah, it's true, actually.
Not always, but
Cayman Reed throws in £2.
Thank
Academy plaque says Picard's Stargazer is in museum. Details. Yeah. But then you hear Picard, and it definitely sounds boring. Rios runs back to his chair.
He's so in the moment. I love it.
Yeah.
He's right in there.
Red alert, helm back off. Give us some distance. Love his command. Like, he's a good captain.
Yeah.
So.
He's no shit. He's good. So a couple of notes here. I like the CGI when the ship comes out. The way it hits the shield is great. The fact that you get light on the ship for a second shows you more details. I like it. It's cool. It's not a huge ship. You can see the window detail. And Stuart, do you remember that new ship in season 4 where the entire rim is windows, 100% of the square volume? Look at the side. A few windows here and there, as if there's a deliberate reason for them. And beautiful impulse engines. Look at that. Lovely. Sorry, I'll stop showing the impulse engines.
That's okay. Then we get the beautiful fleet shot. Or another fleet shot.
Well, no, first though, it's 7. Yes, it's Borg. But it all feels in character. You know? Although we don't get the voice in Picard's head. I guess though, because he's no longer nanoprobed, because it's a different body. So I guess he would no longer have that physical connection to Borg. So I guess that I asked my own question there.
Yeah, a lot of people last night were saying, "Why didn't Seven hear them?" Because she's still Borg implants. But
I mean, Seven may have.
It's also a temporal thing. They don't come through until this moment. I'm sure at this moment maybe things start firing and she can hear stuff. Yeah. Maybe, but it is a temporal rift, so we don't know when they come from either. So.
But yeah, now what do you think of actually seeing a fleet out of nowhere? Because there's zero context to a fleet as amassed, and there's a freaking fleet, and as the audience like, oh. Hello, Karen. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's confusing a little bit, but it's cool to see.
I think it says for a new poll. Let me finish one. I'll do a poll about the shots. I asked though a question. What do you think about the new Stargazer exterior? 60% loved it, 34% liked it, 5% okay, and 2% disliked it, which makes 97% approval rating. Or if you go for even okay, 98% approval rating. Again, we hope you guys are watching. Vote on the show. That's a hell of a good rating for that many votes. So good job. I'm just going to write a new poll while you talk about this.
Okay. No, seeing the fleet was great. I love the new Excelsior look. And here we get the whole Excelsior standing by ready to assist, said by Raffi, the commander of the Excelsior. I think it'd be the captain. And I think that's Eleanor standing behind her. On the bridge. I don't know. Seeing the fleet was nice, I gotta say. And I'm looking forward to seeing more such fleets in the future. But definitely some nice looking ships. It's a good moment to freeze the frame and look. Maybe zoom in if you're able to. Because there's a lot of good ships there. Even the Zheng He from season 1 of Picard is there. There's like 3 of them, but they're way in the back. So...
Okay, read the poll, because you'll want to read the poll.
How did you feel when you first saw the Vulcanan fleet? My heart skipped a beat. I liked it. It was okay. Didn't affect me. I didn't care.
I'm hoping for a certain result here, Stuart.
Kit 10K throws in $20.
Boom.
I wonder if they might have used a few parts from the old Stargazer in the new one, cosmetics-wise. That would be something like they did with the World War II CV-6 Enterprise aircraft carrier and put it into the CVN-65 Enterprise. Yeah, possibly. I mean, that might qualify as a refit of sorts.
We've got to ask, how many refits have there been since then? How many iterations? If this is a new class, why would you use an old frame for a new class?
Now, this is the Sagan class. That's another thing we should point out.
Yes!
It's called the Sagan class. Not a lot of people know that, but it is. It's not the Stargazer class. It's the Sagan
It's not a Constellation
class
either. So, I mean, obviously, Constellation class refit is a Constellation class refit, but I mean, everything sort of feels as if it's not. But I loved that Raffi walked in with the Excelsior. I love the quick second. I love the fact that you get to see a second bridge. And
is that Elnor behind her?
Oh yeah, that is
station.
I've never thought that, but that absolutely is. Yeah, which I mean makes sense. But that is a full command column, so I'm assuming we're going to see the same bridge, but now with a full like TNG style wraparound, or at least esque. Because if you take out that middle bit, it can feel different, and that feels logical. And why no captain? Why is she the?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering too.
But I like
He's
that.
In the shitter.
I like that. Okay, I like that quick thing though, and what a fleet! I like this obviously for many reasons, but contextually because for me it says right. Picard arrived, and we didn't know it was Borg. We did, I guess. Maybe ships were on their way. I suppose a couple, but we have no sense of that. As soon as the Borg come through, there is a delay in reaction because no one wants to make the first move, and so there is time for these ships to arrive. And then the Borg Queen says, "We're out of time." So I like that.
Yeah.
There was a stalemate for an hour or two. Maybe.
Squadron Course says, "What's that ship to the left of the Stargazer? Is that a Defiant?" No, it's the
La Serena.
La Serena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seven's ship.
Yeah. We have several Sovereigns. We have 2 Genhays. We have several Akiras. We have several Titans. We have a Ross. And we have 2 Gagarins and the new Nebula. Beautiful selection. Beautiful selection. And to see Sovereigns just kicking butt, and to have them as background, but they're so definitively Sovereigns. And it's a great combination of ships. I wish we had like one old ship for the sake of it, like a classic something, like a whatever. But this certainly shows like these are the newer class, and Titans, man, three Titans, kicking butt, or at least 3 Lunars, I should say. And they didn't mess up the Bassard colours. In fact, there is a variety of Bassard colours as the eras reflect. The Titans are exactly as it should be, the bright red and the blue, same with the Sovereign, but they sort of shift in colour as the eras of ship determine, which is attention to detail as it should be.
Mm-hmm. I want to thank you to the 382 people watching. That's awesome. That's a good number to have for a review. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any, and click the notification bell icon. So we do a lot of breakdown videos, and we also do these long form lives, but we also do edited ones. So
because most people
miss anything,
most people can't watch 2 hours or more, and we know that, but this is a live show for you guys, so commenting there as well. But there's lots of good content with other graphics as well. Yeah, really excited to see what you guys think about that.
So we get the briefing room, and you see there's some Stargazers on the wall. Those are all built by my good friend Bill Krause, who I go to Wonderfest with every year. And kudos to him for joining the team. It's awesome. He's even got his version of the Stargazer up there. But nice little conference room, briefing lounge. You see the back. It's at the back of the ship. You see the nacelles. It's nice. And I love how Rios is like, "What do we do?" Picard's like, "I have no idea."
Yeah. but it wasn't. When he said that, I was thinking, okay, bit unusual. But it wasn't even like, "I'm PTSD Picard that was at a ball cube and fell down last year." It's like, I don't know. This is a he was still in control. So I don't know. It felt way more Picard than the other one. So I was like, yes.
This whole discussion is like, should we shoot at them or should we see? And Seven makes the point of they assimilate. They don't ask to be assimilated. So they don't want to join the Federation, because that's one thing the Admiral told them earlier. That's how the message started, and then it went on to reiterate the whole of Article 15, which is, requesting membership to the Federation. So, it's a very good argument here, back and forth. Seventh kind of throws out the whole they've killed thousands of people. They've murdered my parents.
It is a bit weird though to lecture Picard on the Borg. It's like, shut the fuck up, I know.
Yeah, but she hasn't known him for very long, and she was Borg her whole life. She's got more of a say than I think Picard does.
I get that, but it's like lecturing an army vet on the army, and it's like, I was there too.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with the scene in general, but it's odd that much of a. Don't you know the Borg, Picard? They've killed billions, and he's like,
been there, done that. Got the T-shirt and the implants.
what do you want? Yeah. So I thought that was a bit odd, but she's very emotional. I will note, and people have said this. She says the Borg killed my parents. They didn't kill her parents. They assimilated her parents. They were still alive in Voyager. However, is that killing them in your brain? In her brain, it probably is. But that said, she was assimilated and came back. So if she assumes assimilation means no coming back, she's a hypocrite as well. So she is wrong, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, dead to me.
And Chadrick Glossop says, I agree with Seven. They should be attacked first. So, Vulcan hellos all around.
A Borg hello. Or a Seven hello. Yeah, where do you stand on the argument here? Where would you, based on what they said?
Well, the whole language of the Borg in this case is completely different. There's no resistance. It's futile. You will be assimilated. You'll service us. Yeah. It's all a different tone. Mm-hmm. Even calling out for Picard, it doesn't seem like they would want assimilation, because they would just assimilate the Stargazer and move on. Yeah. Or the fleet. So, yeah, it's got my mind working as to what do they really want. Even when she comes on board, she's not as menacing as she could be. She's only defending herself because she's getting shot at.
We'll get there for sure, yeah.
The only thing that's really threatening is I require power, and then she locks into the consoles. We still don't have a context of what that specifically means. So it might not be to take over the ship. It might be to show them something, or I don't know. And she doesn't kill anybody. She stuns everybody that she shoots as well, which is not Borg-like at all. Even though some people do get whipped across the room and fly into bulkheads from explosions, so I'm sure they're pretty injured, but still.
I mean, collateral blowy happy. I'll get to that later at a specific point. But 2 quick notes here. We get a Star Trek The Motion Picture refit shot, looking back on the conference room at the nacelles in the back of the ship, which is such a TMP shot, it's insane. And obviously we're going to see a ship more, so it's great to see. It is odd how the glows of the nacelles are almost entirely lost, which implies there's a lot of filtering on the windows, but it's cool. No fleet, I thought that was a bit odd. But this is worth another bit of evidence that the view screen is a view screen, not a window. This is a window. You can see the ship. The front view screen is not a window. You should be able to see the ship. If you can see the ship here, you can see the ship there.
Yeah.
Another bit of full on it, and I will actually add that to the edit of the other episode because clearly evidence. But it's such a good TMP visual, and they couldn't do this in TNG for budgetary reasons. Here it is. Or even Enterprise E. They should have, they just didn't. Good job, them.
E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories, $5. Picard's Stargazer was probably a museum ship by the Dominion War, but this ship may have been commissioned around then and now has been refit. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's symbolically the next, whichever.
Not a band account, $5.
Thank you.
Inaccurate fleet. Starfleet only field mass production of their fastest, strongest ships. They were produced in Korean-class starships only. They're all in the core of the Federation. This is just ships that were nearby. It's fine.
I loved that there weren't many in crews. That's great. Just saying.
Jess Harvey, $5. Didn't notice the nacelles in back of the ship visible at the briefing room window on my first watching. The vista is lovely. Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's cool.
Even added that in the motion picture. Mm-hmm. You see the nacelle out the window. Which, but yeah, so anyway, they get called back to the bridge. They're being hailed, and they're going to send an emissary, their queen. Everybody's like, the hell they are. I'm not letting them on this. I'm not letting them on my ship. Shields up, fleet-wide announcement.
And I thought that was a bit odd, the reaction, a little bit, because the queen is a genuinely important part of the puzzle. So if you have the queen on board and you can take her out if she misbehaves, that's effective. And queens aren't designed to assimilate people as much as a drone is. So a queen is less powerful than a normal drone. Like, they're not saying tactical drones or anything. So I thought the reaction was a bit odd there. Like, damn, the queen's the best one to send, because it speaks to the collective, and I just small thing, but I was like, is that a reaction really for the queen? You should be like, damn, really? Okay, I'll take a queen then. Like, of all the people you send, you accept a queen, etc.
Yeah.
But then it's another shot of a thing opening, a beautiful perspective shot, which is the thumbnail shot. All the ships, you get to see a great Sovereign. Akira looks identical, feeling to the First Contact. Beautiful there. Really, really good job there. And is that a second Excelsior? At the top right. No, it's not the Sovereign. It's just a really, it's just a really, it's around the Sovereign. It's a really spot Sovereign.
Yeah.
Now, what do you
There's
think?
an Akira there too, which
Yeah.
we didn't talk about earlier, I don't think.
Yeah, it says, yeah. But this one has Bassards. It hasn't got in later shot, but this one it does. And what do you think of the Transformer Borg ship, which extends like a bit like the
You know what?
Yeah, the Starfish and Suicide Squad.
Here's what happened. They assimilated Cybertron in the meantime, so this is like Unicron now. So it's fine. It's fine. It's good. I think it's kind of a cool idea. I don't know why it needs to open up for them to beam up somebody aboard, but hey, it is what it is.
I took it more as a we're starting this. The shit starts now, symbolic.
Maybe it's like the Ferengi Marauder was supposed to like go into that surrender stance with the things like articulated it. The neck went forward as like a weak. And that's what they're doing. They're like opening up like, hey, if you want to shoot us, hey. That's
really funny, yeah. But I liked it, and it looked Borg. It felt Borg. It felt right. I mean, it felt a bit more elaborate, but it's such a special ship, so I'm all for it. And I dig it. I dig it. It feels like a proper Borg ship. Although Eagle Moss, good luck.
Yep. But apparently the Borg Queen is beaming aboard. That she used like a cutting beam to kind of get the transporter signal through.
Now this impressed me for numerous reasons. Well, A, cutting beam, perfect. B, Stuart, shield bubble. Because we've only had shields. I mean, if you've seen Discovery, as we've seen Discovery, in Discovery, 32nd century shields, infinitely more advanced than this. When a weapon hits the shields, a petrol explosion happens, and the shield bubbles around the ship, around the actual hull. Here's an actual shield bubble, and not just that in the exterior, but in the interior graphic, you see a bubble. So shield bubbles back for the first time in Trek for a very, very long time, since not even since Nemesis, before Nemesis. So I'm very happy to see that, and it felt deliberate, and it felt like they couldn't just do it. They weren't future Borg, because these shields would mean nothing. They have to do a strategy. Yeah, it was good.
Then there's the whole get ready, don't shoot prematurely, and then 7 draws out a standard handgun.
Yeah, so hers from last season.
Futuristic at all.
Why civilian? I'm surprised everyone's got a sidearm, because everyone does have a sidearm in this. I guess maybe they thought.
Well, they would have had time with this strange anomaly. It would make sense to suit everybody up.
It's kind of like Equinox. Everyone gets a gun. Yeah. And you would think that many would be effective, but not too much.
Kit 10K, $10.
Thank you.
Unicron and the Borg together. The universe is so beyond screwed. Yes. And General Grievous, $2. Worf, prepare for ramming speed at that ship.
But yeah. You've seen Rick and Morty? No.
Yeah. Really?
This armor reminded me of Bird Person. If you get the reference, guys. Yeah, this person beams in clear view. What do you think?
This is new.
Or black from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting look, but it's definitely new for sure for the Borg. Which again, we don't know where the Borg are from. They haven't done their standard.
What universe even?
Style.
Let's be honest.
Assimilated. It's true. Or alternate timeline maybe. I don't know. So.
It felt elegant. I was surprised by the helmet, obviously, but it does feel like it's robes. But it has a certain je ne sais quoi. They might not be Borg. We really don't know. They've not tried to assimilate anybody directly. There's still a sense of maybe it's someone else using technology. Who could say exactly? But if you look at the fabric is kind of like wires, which kind of connects, and there is definitely an interesting, like they've evolved into a more organic being. And this is
even the helmet when it transforms.
Yes,
doing a thing later.
It calculates how to do mass fire. Yeah. But no, this is cool. We get a really good shot of the bridge, which if you brighten up, it's much clearer to see. But doesn't fire first. But instead,
it does require power and locks onto these consoles. Not exactly a friendly move.
No.
Don't really blame people for firing.
But she does say first, I want peace. Okay. Good. Oh, and then Rios also jumps in. Like, Picard's waiting. Rios is on it, man. He's on it.
But he's got to look good in front of everybody.
Yeah. But, yeah, stabs consoles and now as a force shield. Does it work? Does it make sense? Does it... I don't know. How do you feel about this? It was a... Yeah.
It's a weird visual for sure.
What's she trying to do? What's the plan here?
Don't know. There's something off. I think that there is literally, like, we want to join the Federation or have peace. We just don't know how to quite go about it, so we're trying something new. Maybe trying, I don't know. It just seems weird, because she's a similar... Or at least taking control of the ship and the fleet.
Yes.
Which is hostile, beyond hostile. But not killing anybody, stunning everybody. Only people with weapons that are shooting at her. Doesn't hit anyone that's not shooting at her. In case you didn't notice. I mean, it's weird. Yeah.
And I also want to point out, you know, you say assimilation. That was such a slight misquote in terms of... Because she's not assimilating, she's taking over the systems. Assimilating actually requires nanoprobes and reconstructing how things work. That's not what she was doing clearly. She was just reprogramming to unlock. Hacking. She was hacking. So that was, I think, just an important clarification. You know, because if the system...
She wasn't hacking. Because there was no camera spin around her. She wasn't... That's hacking. You gotta have a camera spin. You gotta have, like, shit popping up on the screens, like little...
Eating a Twinkie.
And...
It's all bad.
Yeah.
Bad food.
Yeah, so she wasn't hacking, obviously. It's clear.
We cut to her perspective to see an Iron Man HUD with text. Okay, that's funny, but no. Because if it was a simulation, and we've seen this, all the L-cars would shift into Borg L-cars. That is what happens. So that's not what she's doing here. And I can imagine siphoning off power. What I think she's doing is Borg equal dangerous for everybody out there, right? And we've learned in the previous scene in the briefing room that Borg have been decimated. They're no longer the same threat they used to be, which is finally we're getting talked about. Oh, Stuart's face there.
I just read a comment about being Michael Burnham in the Red Angels. And somebody mentioned that last night, which made me laugh because
it's the Black Angel suit, the spin-off. Yes. Oh goodness. No, I think you know, they say the Borg are no longer what they used to be. They're fragmented. They're not what they used to be. Great, fantastic, well done, Janeway. If this queen is like a remnant, has a few thousand Borg, whatever, has the ship, she's like, I want peace. Great. The likelihood is someone might pull the trigger first, right? Somebody, and they got one shot. So I think what's happening is, once I get aboard personal shield, I'm ready for this, right? Doesn't want to throw at me, I can do it. So I'm going to siphon into the powerful shield. If I disable the fleet, force them into a listen to me situation, I can negotiate. Yes, I might have been a bit aggressive, but you were going to shoot me at some point. So taking the insane aggressive peaceful first stance. So I think it actually is peaceful, just they don't know how to be peaceful actively. Especially as they might have transphaser torpedoes lying around on their ships, they could decimate the ship as well. So it's a really interesting tonal scene. Very, very interesting.
I figured it out.
Ooh.
Species 10C is the Borg. They find them. Michael Burnham has to build a new time suit, go back in time, assimilate, or no, join the Federation. Join the Federation so that the burn never happens down the road and solve all the problems. Boom.
Right.
Moving on to Super Chats, though. General Grievous, $2, as Edna Mode puts, or says, no capes. Keith Jeffries, nice. 1974, £5. I was expecting it to say, Picard, tell Mariner to stop prank calling me, though I thought it was Armis. It did look like Armis, yeah. General Grievous, $2. Board Queen plus hentai tentacles equals fun times on Ryza. Oof. General Grievous. Grant McGregor, $5. Two things. One, no Borg around. What about Transwarp Network? Possibly Prodigy pothole solved. What? Two things.
Well,
one, no Borg around. What about the Transwarp Network? Possible. Prodigy.
Well, we know that Prodigy read the Picard scripts. So I think from now on, the three shows, Lower Decks, Prodigy, and Picard, are all going to know what's happening in the galaxy properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is now telling us Borg aren't really a thing anymore, which means if we see them again, they might be the prequel stories to this. So I'm really excited that it feels as if they've, the uniform's clearly a combination of each other's uniforms. That feels like a tie. So I'm excited to see how things connect, because I feel like they're gonna connect. This is gonna be a real thing,
Mm-hmm. Chris Little, £5.
Thank you.
What would be a good altruistic reason for the Borg Queen to be taking over the fleet? Alt universe invasion on the way behind. Maybe. There's just this fleet though, unless they can. There's still more ships, like.
What, and also, why send your queen? Why not beam over 50 or 100 drones? They'll have shields too. I mean, why this move? Clearly, she didn't try and negotiate with Picard very much going in. So, I don't... Yeah.
Wenlock, £2.
Thank you.
Wouldn't have hidden face if didn't know them. True. I guess that could be 7. That could be the end of the season kind of thing.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Kit 10K throws in $10. I have to admit, if these Borg are from a different universe, that opens some interesting storyline possibilities, because it would give the writers some additional creative writing freedoms with them. Absolutely.
But an extension of just, we can do whatever we want. I don't know, I feel like this is your last chance to have Picard and Borg, and make an alternate universe Borg takes out all of the personal stakes context. Same with 7. They aren't my Borg anymore. But I'll finish the poll though.
Hashtag not my Borg.
My Borg. Hashtag eyes on Breen. Kirsten, how did you feel when you saw the full canon fleet? Only 60%. My heart's going to beat. I'm a bit Trekyards audience, come on. But 33% liked it, so there's 73% approval. Nope, 90. Yeah. 6% okay, didn't affect me. 1% didn't care, so at least mostly fully positive. But good job. I'm going to do one last poll, or before the last poll, and see how it goes.
When you do that, Grant McGregor, $5. And here's a second point. 2, 7 could have said, you of all people who know Picard, give context and wait till all Picard has expressed first contact with Picard season 1. You of all people. Yeah. John Shields, $5. From the voice and cape and the rack, Borg Laurel. Really? Anyway, yeah. Hit like, guys. We have 405 likes.
Oh,
382
fantastic.
people here. Let's try to get to 420.
Yes.
420 is a good number for likes.
Yes.
Same.
And join us or watch our edited content this weekend about the ships, and join us for this week's lives on Picard and Discovery as well. We'd love to see you. This has been a phenomenal audience, and we love talking. Please do jump into those as well, because we'll go. We're actually skipping certain topics because we'll go into detail then. So that'll be super exciting as well. But this was real cool. Lots of pew pews, lots of people going down, stunned like you said, which I thought was fantastic.
And the control of the computer getting faster to
Yes.
the point where it's 90%, and we need to do something now because we can't destroy the ship if they get full control. Boom.
Bit weird that self-destruct still works at 90%. You would think.
I know.
It's
one of the first things I shut down is somebody trying to take control. But
especially when they're saying it in front of you. Although I will give credit that the tendrils of the L-cars is quite nice in the brief shot. It's still not Borgified, but it's quite a good effect. And also I did really like the helmet. It looked like a clockwork robot from Doctor Who. All the little clockwork things clicking, thinking, and then shooting everybody. Because that's the thing, we do say it all the time. Why didn't they do full spectrum, wide beam, and shoot everyone? So I'm glad they addressed it with a Borg Queen, wide beam, pew pew. But yes.
This is emergency destruct sequence. This isn't self-destruct sequence. It says emergency destruct sequence, so it might make sense why there's only one command code.
It's like, oh, I'm definitely serious.
Yeah.
And then
it counts down, and the Borg Queen gets to 4, and Borg Queen says, "Look up."
When you get another brief shot of the fleet, just exterior just briefly, just kind of appreciate the.
Well,
And
as it exploded.
Well, no, before that I haven't quite got to that, but yeah. And this gives me serious sarcophagus ship vibes. You know, big ship, because you can see the scale. This is huge, but just nicer. Just, and I appreciate they had to have a big giant green anomaly to accent the ship. Otherwise, it'd just be a black ship on black. It works this time.
Yeah.
But yes, everything's going to shit, and it does amaze me. You know, when he orders this, he just his great speech to his friends and colleagues. He's saying, right, I'm gonna make us all die right now. Like, imagine, like, the vibe in his brain is just, wow, to commit to that. And Rios just takes it. He just basically just sits and says, I just got this ship. You can see the good direction of, we're all going to die right now. It's played really strong, actually, but also no second, like, and no screaming. Everyone's like, okay, this has to be done. We got to all die. God, it's dark. It's really dark. And then the Borg Queen zooms up to him, first time moving, and
says, look up.
Look up, quite dramatic. And then a really nice explosion, warp core, wouldn't necessarily destroy the other ships, but... And you can see the shields being hit. Hey, good job them. And then that's the end of Season 1, Season 2 of Picard. Right, thank you for this one episode arc. Thank you, writers. We'll see you next time for Season 3. We'll introduce, I guess, a new Picard, because everyone died. So there you go. I'm just gonna...
Samuel, there's more.
No, I clicked out, Stuart. I left because he died. I pressed off. Can you imagine, though, if someone actually clicked off because it's like, well, that's the end, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the end. So thank you guys for watching.
Final Super Chat scores on the death of Picard again. But I'm gonna
Every episode's going to end with him dying in some other way.
It's like Stargate, the reset one. But like every episode, yeah. I'm only on the toilet as well, briefly. One sec.
We know it's not the ending. We're just kidding with you guys. 421 likes. Awesome. Hit that like button if you haven't, though. Let's try to get that up to 430. Let's do another 9 likes if you're able. We still got the last little section to talk about, and then our final scores and yours as well. So thank you to everyone watching, and stay there. We're not finished yet. So, but yeah, we're going to get into this last little section, which is really short, and then we'll do the wrap up and stuff. Samuel just had to pee. Grant McGregor throws in $10 and says, and number 3, yet the Borg need Starfleet to fight, but I hope they want to assimilate Picard, and since then Picard needs to give his life to allow everyone in the collective to be free. Interesting take on it. I'm not sure I would like that, but hey. Yeah. Look, he's back. Grant McGregor has another super chat. He says, M3, yeah, the Borg needs Starfleet to fight, but I hope they want to assimilate Picard and the synths. And Picard needs to give his life to allow everyone in the collective to be free.
Actually, that's an interesting point. If they knew Picard was a synth, and they wanted Data to be perfect, that might be their jam. Bit of a weird way of getting it. Although briefly, the reason for not killing everybody is that, better as drones. So of course you wouldn't kill them.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't she have some sort of advanced nanoprobe delivery air transmission system, just to make them all drones in the air? I mean, why wouldn't you? You've clearly been preparing for this for a while, etc.
General Grievous, $2. Was that affect the explosion or a giant Q flash? Ooh. Well, it's interesting. It does look like a warp core explosion, but I cannot see why you'd say it might be a Q flash as well. Sure.
Yeah.
Raw 666 throws in $10.
Oh, thank you.
This looks promising, but so did Season 1 Picard. I hope it's a step in the right direction, but I will wait for the finale before saying whether I like it or not. Safe bet. We just want to have a good episode to kick off and then kind of go to shit. So.
The difference with Season 1 is that while Episode 1 had some good stuff, it had big plot hole stupid elements, which we called out instantly. This one is frickin' solid. So it's doing well. So Flash, he wakes up, and I was surprised. I was sort of unhappy that he died in the first episode. I thought that might have been left for Episode 2 because I was so enjoying the present.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to come next, but we got a lot of trailer content. So we as we've said, trailer is in the first few episodes, and here he is waking up in the exact same spot as he was earlier with his shield. Is it still?
Before we continue,
it's not damage this time. It's actually, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's still damage. Andrew Benson puts in $2. Is that the Galaxy class on the top right? No, I think it's the Ross class.
Yeah, there's no galaxies in this. They're all updated.
Jordan S, who's been a member for 8 months, the rank of captain.
Oh, thank you.
Sir.
That seriously really helps.
Any thoughts on the Inception music during the self-destruction sequence?
It was good. It was confusing.
Yeah, it's properly confusing. So we'll probably get an explanation at some point. But
I mean, that's the thing. Is Q pulling out of time, or is Q waiting for this moment? I can imagine it's Q playing a trick, like just adding a little bit of something. I don't know. Or is it the Borg Queen saying, "Hi there, let's play"? Because she was probably hoping she could disable self-destruct before they blew up and just couldn't.
One thing I want to point out is when he wakes up in the thing with the broken windows, he looks at himself, he sees 4 shattered reflections. I'm wondering if that's like a foreshadowing to like a multiverse kind of deal going on. I know they're in another dimension, I get that, but the 4 of them, I think, the 4 faces are, I think, a clue or foreshadowing of some sort.
Maybe he keeps resetting the present and is like, not this one, damn it! Goes back, like Back to the Future-esque. Damn it, fix! Damn it, fix! Yeah, that was a bit heavy-handed, I thought, but it's fine. But yeah, he walks in, he sees knives and stabby things and evil him. Ooh.
That's not a knife, that's a sword. It's a short sword, but
okay, thank you. And I actually really like the robot guy show up. I didn't think I was gonna like him, but instantly I was like, okay, you know what? This guy was good. Symbolically, slave labor, all good for a bad people race, so I liked it. I'm like, okay. Might get some data references.
I like the whole. You want to sit out on the veranda? The solar shields are holding well this morning. The sky is delightfully clear.
But where's
his name's Harvey?
Oh. Harvey Dent. But where's Laris? Laris, Romulan name. Blah blah blah. So not even remotely. And also it says refugees though, so there's still a Romulus incident of some sort.
Well, he says, "Would you like me to check the migrant roster, not the refugee
That's what I meant.
roster?" Different.
But they allow migrants. But I like that.
The cynical optimist, £2. The DHQ in this scene looked fantastic.
Well, we'll get there. We hear John Delancey, and Picard's like, "Oh, no. Fucking hell!"
No. And oh dear, you're a bit older than I imagined. Let me catch up. Perfectly needed and perfectly done. I thought it was brilliant. Because everybody was complaining about it. So thank God.
And I did say to a friend of mine today, those that said Q looks too old, they just want something to complain about. He's a snake energy being. That's not his face. But I want to do a new poll on Q because I'd love to know. I asked though, the Borg, what do you think? 77% say they wanted peace. Just a weird plan. 23% say kill, assimilate. Yes, I think so too. But hard to tell. And now I'm going to ask about Q as well. I really want to know.
You do that. Kit 10K puts in $10. I wasn't able to watch the episode, but this makes me wonder, could that explosion near the anomaly because of the road not traveled Q talked about? No, I don't think so.
Dude, why do you watch this episode? Oh, you should have watched the episode first.
And Shauna Leatherman has joined the channel at the rank of Commander. So that's 2 channel memberships during this live. So welcome aboard, Commander. Good to see you. Thank you.
Very helpful. Thank you.
And then it's like, remember what I said the last time we spoke, Shauna? The trial never ends. And he says, you've been talking a lot of second chances. Well, my friend, welcome to the very end of the road not taken.
Of the road not taken.
And then he says, captioning sponsored by CBS for some reason. I don't know.
Well, product placement's really important, in this universe. They have to make the money somehow. But John Delancey nails it, comes in, he, are we surprised? And I want to talk about the DHQ for a minute, because obviously I have certain expertise in this sort of stuff. Ironically, my biggest issue is that he's scaled wrong to his body.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell he's not... Like, the CG is hovering on his body. You can see that instantly. As soon as you cut to the other him like the scale's just a bit off. It's because they made your brain sees it. I applaud them for not doing green screen. It's just a real plate. He then put a CGI face on, but it's great considering. I'll take it any day of the week because it's all you have to do. They knew what fans would say, so they addressed it. Fantastic. It's not a deep fake. It's a CGI face. That's worth saying. There's too many differences, but thought it was great. And the Flash didn't fuck it up, Stuart.
Not changed at all. We were worried about that.
I mean, you're still it's less pointy, but feels right. I even
looked right.
Well, it had a hard bass drum, which was different, but I liked it for the impact. So I dug it really well. Yeah, we were worried, and I'll take it. So thank goodness once again, and he was great. Yeah, he was really great. And hard cut, end of Picard. Oh no, we're parallel. What the hell is going to happen? My goodness. And there we go, Stuart. The epic episode 1 of what should have been season 1.
Yes.
God, and can you imagine though, seriously, if we didn't know Q was in season 1, and this was season 1, and he shows up at the end, how much blowing our minds would this be?
Yeah, it would be great.
Like out of the blue, like we're gonna kill Picard like Spock, like we're killing the first movie, the second movie, you know. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, guys, this is the time of the chat or the live where you guys super chat in your scores. I will read those after we give our scores.
I want to know. I really want to know your scores. Like everyone put in scores.
So if you super chat your score, I'll read them. If you put in the regular chat, Samuel will read them. But I'm going to give my conclusion on this episode and my score, and then Samuel will do the same.
And I want to do a thing based. We can't normally we say out of 10 for this season and all of Trek. Impossible with only one episode. So I would like you to do 2 scores. The first score is your personal enjoyment of this episode for all Trek, just what you liked, and second score for all of New Trek. So comparing to Discovery and Picard season 1.
Compared to season 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like all of the New Treks.
Oh.
So like all of how it fits into the pantheon of hundreds of episodes versus the New Treks. So, you know, how does it put it in a light versus to Picard season 1? As that just mentioned, maybe just for this week's episode, but I just want to.
You're gonna have to remind me of that after I go through my spiel.
Absolutely fine. I'm just gonna write the piece of paper now with its digital piece of paper. So Stuart, what did you final thoughts? And has this review changed your opinion in any way? So we went very very deep with thoughts.
There's only like 2 or 3 little small minor details that I didn't like. Other than that, it was very well written. Little lines of dialogue here and there, which we would have said, hey, all they needed was a line of dialogue here to explain that. Well, they covered all that. They did it all. And they explained a lot of stuff without even being asked to necessarily.
Stuart, she's acquitted for murder. It's all good.
Yeah.
Answered.
She only ages slowly when she chooses to, and things like that. So yeah, I mean, lots of good stuff here. They really upped their game from season 1. They learned their lessons. They hired OG Star Trek people to work on it, which is a brilliant idea, and just it's head and shoulders above season 1 for multiple reasons, but it's only 1 episode, so I'm a little concerned that it's gonna maybe trip and stumble a little bit in the middle. I don't really care about modern time shit, but that's gonna be a thing, and it's probably gonna be a few episodes at least. So anyway, yeah, definitely a great return to Picard. They definitely made up for a lot of the hard feelings from season 1 for a lot of people with this one. I just hope that it wasn't just a ploy to say, hey, everybody's going to watch now. We can just get lackadaisical again. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I'm just kind of concerned about it. But no, every character I liked, even characters I didn't think I would be liking. I like them. I like where we first saw them. I like, Rios is one of my new favorite captains now. I mean, new ships, old ships, Star Trek Online ships canonized. There's a lot of good stuff in here. And even the little mystery around the Borg Queen and the Borg's intentions and the whole lookup thing. There's a lot to get me involved and invested, and I can't wait to see the resolution for sure. So, okay, what were the scoring options again?
So, pure enjoyment score, that's just you for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then how it scores to New Trek. How it compares to,
enjoyment.
and I'll include that as all the animated stuff as well, just all of the new stuff in the last many years, etc.
And then we're doing a score for Picard, I assume too, right?
Well, when we get to, well, that's your main score. Like we can't compare it to. Well, do you want to do 3 scores just for this episode then?
Well, we compare it to season 1 of Picard. This is Picard season 2, you know.
Okay, 3 scores: pure enjoyment compared to season 1
Yeah.
of Picard, and just all of New Trek. Okay, that's
All
fine.
right. Pure enjoyment. It's going to be probably a 9.6 out of 10 for me. Really enjoyed it. There's so much to really get into for me. I really thought it was great. For all of New Trek,
Which includes Lower Decks and
definitely up
Project.
there. I'd say probably an 8.8
Mm.
out of 10. Yeah, it should be maybe a bit higher, but I kind of want to be tempered a little bit with that one. Because there was a lot of good Lower Decks and Prodigy stuff, and even 1 or 2 good episodes ish of just Discovery. So, for all of Picard, it's going to get a 9.9 out of 10 for me because Picard was really shit. So, anyway, there we go. Those are my scores.
I saw we saw each other across the world. Like he's gonna say it, isn't he? Like, I thought you were gonna say 10 just to be funny. So I appreciate you did.
I almost did, and then I'm like, no, I gotta dial it back a tad.
Okay, I'm glad I saw the right look. I was like, he's gonna say. Okay, I'm glad I know you. That's great.
Yeah, for a second I'm like 10 for sure. But... How about you? What are your thoughts on the closing scores?
And guys, yeah, put your scores in super chats. We want to get guys on $50 would be really, really helpful. 50, not including kit, so 50. That's 10 fives. Cover 50 would be so good. Please and thank you in advance.
Oh. And last super chat slot open. Snipe for it.
My closing thoughts. Hella return to form. You just like season 3 of Discovery felt like a radical reshift. This is a radical reshift. It was. Picard season 1, we would have been very, very pleased. It would have been shockingly good in comparison to other stuff. It's Picard feeling like Picard, which you rarely felt in season 1. Patrick, whereas Frake said some of his best acting in season 1 of Picard, I disagree wholeheartedly. This I wouldn't call his best acting by any means, but he was in the zone better. He was channeling who Picard was far, far greater and better. Every character in season 1 was improved. Raffi, Elnor, they all felt better. Rios was doing fantastic. Seven was better. Every single one was better. Just flat out better. I couldn't name a single problem with any of them compared to last season. Fantastic. Q was great for his 55 seconds. Great de-age. Very CGI. Like, not as good as a deep fake, but there's too much to do with the deep fake. It's not that sort of... Like, Luke looked a lot better, but different techniques. It's fine. Story-wise was good. I love the ambiguity. That is really interesting and far better than season 1's mystery. You know, like seeing the ball cube at the end is like, okay, clone Soji, cool. Here's like, oh, so many things. Great. Stargate is great. Interior is good. The uniform was a lot better, I thought, when we watched it. The ships just symbolically they've apologized for season 1 because we know that the people who there was a delay between 1 and 2 obviously with the pandemic. So when the new team came on board, they being big Trek fans, David Bass presumably looked back and said, I didn't really like season 1 that much either. And Tadrosa came on board and said, I didn't even finish season 1, so how much I didn't like it. They said, let's just do a season 2 fresh. Let's just not even, we've got a Serena set. We'll use that for 4 minutes. So yeah, it's good. It's hard to rate it in a grand scale of Trek because it's an overarching story. How on earth do you compare it? But enjoyment factor, it's obviously mired by season 1 being this is so much better. So that's going to be you enjoy it compared. I'm going to happily give it a 9 for enjoyment. Fun ride. Happy to give that. All of New Trek, 9.5. It's right up there with Nepenthe for different reasons, but better than Nepenthe, I think, for season 1. It's the best Picard episode so far. Like, not even close. But it is up there with Vaj Douche, whatever the Klingon name was. Like, it's not as fun, but also it's twice as long. More famous characters. Like, it's going to be more grounded, but up there with really good. And yeah, season 1, I'll join you, 9.975.
Jesus Christ. 9.975.
Prometheus, man. I'm Prometheusing you.
Well,
For the cell.
we got a few things to talk about real quick. Liz Jericho says, how did Raffi get her job back? She was fired. She was not fired. That's not how that would work. She had to have resigned because that was just stupidity. We talked about that a lot during season 1. She should have no bitterness because she left on her own accord.
Yeah, they're ignoring that, starting fresh. Plus, she earned it by saving the galaxy. Whatever. She's back. Doesn't matter. Ignore it. Well, why is Rios back? Because he deserves it. Whatever. Moving on.
Ooh, Blaposphere's here. Blappy's here. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
A Saucy Puppet Show throws in $5.
Thank you.
I was a little thrown by how mean Q seemed to be here, but I'll withhold judgment until I see more. Well, he's always been, not always, he's occasionally a little bit harsher than the time we saw him before, so I'm sure he'll lighten up by the end, but he hasn't seen Picard in a well, according to Picard, in a while. I mean, Q doesn't matter. He's omnipotent. Time doesn't really matter to him, but
I would, I would disagree. That's okay.
Yeah. The Ronin, $2. 9 all Trek, 10 new series. Oh, 9 for out of all Trek, new Trek, and 10 for the new. Yeah, return to form. Good, thank you, Ronin. Just it was hard to get through. Michael Smith, $5. Using Picard, the music, and look up our cues of him that Seven is the new queen and must take over the ship to complete a mission. 10 out of 10 for season 2, episode 1. Fun will now commence. Has been a member for 20 months in the rank of commander, so thank you for your service and your membership. 10 out of 10 for all Trek. 9 out of 10 for new Trek. Wow.
Nice.
Kit 10K, $10.
Thank you.
The feel on this episode definitely feels like they are currently doing things right, and hopefully they'll be able to keep the momentum and make the show we've wanted since season 1 was announced. Yes, this is what I expected going into season 1. This is what I wanted to see from Picard. So.
An old, happily retired, but not fully happily retired, fully retired. Bloody hell! I said make him an academy professor.
Yeah.
Like, obviously he should be an academy somebody.
Steve Der Gamer, why does nobody talk about Soji's outfit? We almost saw her titties. Yeah, the side boob was nice, I gotta say. The comment was made in the household by...
Didn't even occur to me, because that scene was so short and moving on.
Yeah. Sylvia was the one that said that, actually.
Now, I will say, though, they may still mess up the main storyline. Maybe. I don't think this will be the best season of TV ever. That's hard to do. But I don't see it getting super stupid. Because this is a smart episode. That, at least, is good.
Christian Montgomery, $2. Warp 9.8 out of Warp 9.8 and 9.8. Bravo. Characters are unbelievable. Or believable. Not unbelievable, I believe it. But they're unbelievably believable. Premier Miller, $5.
Thank you.
8 out of 10 overall. 10 out of 10 for New Trek. I enjoy Fun Q, but love what seems to be the return of the intimidating Q. Yes.
I think he's having fun with it. I don't think he's being mean, personally.
Yeah, I think next episode is going to kind of be more of the Q, you know.
Because the thing is, he is both and all. You know, there isn't a mean Q, there isn't a happy Q. He's just all these things, you know.
Squadra Course, $2. 10 out of 10 for me. Perfect enough not to nitpick. Almost. The Discovery Shuttle.
Well, that's the thing. It's very solid. Like, even something as simple as, how did Picard get to the ship so quick? The answer is, because there was a time delay. That's how the rest of the fleet got there. You know? There was a sense of time passing. It wasn't... Yeah, it was good.
A Saucy Puppet Show, $5. They acknowledged as much of season 1 as they had to avoid plot hole complaints.
Yes.
But not much more than that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well said. Well said.
Jason 6690, member for 25 months at the rank of captain. Well, thank you, Captain.
I mean, you've kept us
Best
afloat.
episode since Voyager ended.
Jason, seriously, you've kept us afloat. That is a huge donation. That is over time. Wow. I mean, Intramural Darkly, though, those are freaking incredible. I mean, come on. Just saying. Non-super chat score, Stuart. There is a boatload. You had it easy there. But we still need $14 more.
We'll fire through them, because I got to get going soon.
Yeah, I know.
Live tonight and stuff. So
$14, guys. $14. Right. 9, 9, 9, 8, 8.8, 10, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 100. Chuck, you're lying. You're joking. Whatever. 9.5, 9, 8, 9, 9.5, 7 to 15? Okay. Oh, 7 is type different floors. Yeah. 9, 10, 9, 9, 7, 8, 7, 9.6, 8.5. Matt Bullman 9. 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8, 7, 8, 9, 6.5. Ooh. 7, 9 of 9. 8, 10, 10, 6 out of 9. Oh, 6/9. 9, 9.5, Dan. 9, 7, 9, 5 for old Trek, 7 for new Trek, says J8. Okay. 9, B out of 10. 7.5, 9 out of 10, 8, 8.5, 7, 8, 8, 10. 9, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, no grudge. Wrong era. 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9.7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Pretty freaking high, Stuart.
Jason, 6690, $5. Okay, I'll give you Into a Mirror Darkly. That was great. Hell yeah. Another $7 would be awesome way to close out. So if anybody wants to give us one last super chat, $10 or so would be awesome. But
and I'll close
thank
the
you guys
poll
for watching
as well.
Yes.
Q's de-aged face. Your thoughts? 60% loved it. 31% liked it. 8% okay. 1% didn't like it. 99% positive. Again.
Some asshole click on dislike because it's that 1%.
Again. We hope you're watching CBS because you are getting some good results here with a rather broad audience. Those that do and do not like the new Trek. So hey, good job.
453 likes, amazing. If you haven't hit that like button, just hit it to close out. Maybe get 460, but I think we're gonna call it there in a second. So right now, Jason 6690 has the last super chat slot.
I'm just going to do a quick little poll because I think it'd be good, but just like a couple of seconds. I think people just quickly vote on it.
Chuck A, $2. Thank you guys. Great live stream. Well, thank you, Chuck. Thank you guys for watching. Kit 10K. Wow. $60 super chat. Thank you, Kit. Oh, and Samuel, you wanted another $50 in super chats other than from me. I'm insulted. Just kidding. You guys know I enjoy helping and will continue to do so for as long as you guys keep up the great work. Well, then you're going to be broke for a long time, my friend, because we're going to keep doing this till we die.
I mean, the Trek quality certainly, like, because we started with no Trek, and fan films, and better fan films, and this Trek, and it's been amping up, you know. And what's great, we know people on Prodigy look at our content, we know people on Stranger Worlds look at our content, we know people on Picard look at our content. We don't know about Discovery because who knows?
Who cares? And nobody lets us know.
And Lower Decks are scared of us.
They love us.
Love and scared.
We hold them to task, as they say, because they're like, "What will Trekyards think about this? Is it correct enough?" So, good to know.
So quickly vote in the poll. This is about next week's lives. Same time, which was 9 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to look at the ships. Probably do some of our ship breakdown stuff live to do new renders, new comparisons. I'm going to get the Stowe ships, do those comparisons, talk about theories, discussions. Are you going to join for those next week? We'd love to get over 200 people at least for those as well. Super excited. Jump in, vote in the poll. Yeah, what a show, Stuart. What a show. Tune in for Stuart's Live tonight.
Got another super chat. Hold on.
Unknown
ahead of us. We got another super chat. Saucy Puppet Show, $20. It's payday. Here's a few more bucks. Let's hope that the rest of the season holds up. Been bummed by how boring Discovery has been since the return from break. Yeah, they're stretching this plot razor thin, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that on Monday. And I'll be talking about it tonight in less than 3 hours now at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys can join me for that, I'd appreciate it.
I did say 3 hours. We're exactly on the 3 hour mark. So I think we're incredibly on schedule, considering. So I think we've done a very, very good job. Thank you, guys. You guys have made this amazing. And supporting us hugely does make a big difference. You'll see us tomorrow. You'll see him tonight. We'll see you on Monday. For the rest of your day. Stuart, what's your final word?
Until then, he's Commander Cockins. I almost gave you a promotion.
Yep. Because that
did that earlier today too.
Watch that one video, guys. You'll know the one. You'll know the one. Yes, and he's Captain Foley. And we're
That's right.
Team
Join me
Trekyards.
tonight for another live. But anyway, see you later,
And
guys.
87% join us. Excellent. Good job.